Rattlers. Hello again, everyone. Tom Leander along with Ed Cunningham. It's a rematch of the Arena Bowl in 1997, a game that saw Donnie Davis in the starring role, just like Game 1 of this season. Donnie Davis starting as a QB in replace of Cedric Bonner.
Yeah, Donnie was under a lot of pressure, too. Chad May, a rookie that the Arizona Rattlers brought in during the offseason, was kind of waiting in the wings. We thought we were going to see him, but Donnie came out and put on a show. Great footwork in the pocket, found a lot of different open receivers, and the best thing that he did against New Jersey was throw the ball away when nothing was there, and sometimes pull it down and run with it when he had to.
7 passing touchdowns. Throw in there another rushing score for Donnie Davis and a huge performance in the Rattlers' opening season victory. Now, that performance was mirrored by Aaron Garcia, the starting quarterback for Iowa. That name should be familiar to Rattler fans. He played for the Arizona Rattlers in 1995, and in Aaron's last game for the Barnstormers, 8 touchdowns, 7 passing, 1 rushing.
And it was against a pretty good team. I'm pretty sure Orlando, you know, the team that won the championship last year, was a pretty stiff test. Aaron Garcia, one of the best things he has is his athleticism and his accuracy with the football. Doesn't have the big arm, but really has good field vision. Was acquired last year by New Jersey, 5 games into it, and he's trying to replace, as Donnie Davis is with Cedric Bonner, he's trying to replace Kurt Warner, another great player that Iowa had at quarterback.
His performance, his numbers, not a surprise to Danny White, because Danny actually coached Aaron Garcia here with the Rattlers in 1995, so Danny knows full well what to expect tonight from Aaron Garcia.
Well, other than just, you know, his knowledge of the game and his ability to throw the ball and deliver it to the receivers, just his toughness. I mean, he's a tough son of a gun. He's not real big, but he makes up for it, you know, because you just you can hit him and hit him and hit him, and he just keep bouncing right back up, and so he fits in nicely with this Iowa team and their philosophy.
Let's talk about now who these guys are going to be throwing to, the receiving corps. First of all, for the Rattlers, they're spreading the wealth. Shakes is still out, and in game number 1, Donnie Davis went to 8 different receivers.
Well, they've got some good ones, and it all starts with Randy Gatewood, who was all AFL back in '97, had a bunch of injuries in '98. He's back and healthy. Of course, we can never forget about Hunky Cooper. He's trimmed down a little bit. He's as quick as I've ever seen him. And then they went out and they got Eddie Goins, a guy with some NFL experience, blew out his knees twice while he was in the NFL, looked a little gimpy against New Jersey, so we'll watch his health tonight.
Let's get you updated on who Eddie Goins has replaced, Calvin Schexnayder. Schexnayder has had surgery for the 2nd time, this time to take out the screw that was originally placed in his left foot.
Yeah, he was about ready to play, but he decided to have the screw removed from his left foot, and that puts him out 4 to 6 weeks just recovering from that surgery.
Now Iowa, their receiving corps, again, they're just like the Rattlers, Ed, in that they spread it around to a whole bunch of different faces. Leonard Conley, Carlos James, and Kevin Swain, the primary targets for Garcia.
Yeah, Kevin Swain was all AFL rookie last year. He had over 1,000 receiving yards. Carlos James, 2 years in a row now, is 2nd team all AFL. And Leonard Conley was a starter at tailback at the University of Miami for 4 years. Very dangerous after the catch, Conley is.
All right, so we've talked about the quarterbacks, the receivers, but you got to give some love to the linemen because you are a former lineman, and the Rattlers will have 3 new faces here in week number 2 that were not there for game number 1, including Matt Eller, who's a former Iowa Barnstormer, played in 2 Arena Bowls for Iowa, but then there's 2 other faces that are going to be protecting Donnie Davis as well and rushing the passer.
One of the concerns for the Rattlers is getting some rush on the passer, and they're going to need help from these 2 guys, Oscar Sturgis, Stacey Evans. Sturgis came in last year in 4 games. He had 2 sacks, and then he had to go to camp with the Detroit Lions. Stacey Evans was a defensive end at the University of South Carolina, and 2 times he was 2nd team all SEC, so he can rush a passer. The Rattlers are really going to have to get after Garcia tonight.
They need to get some breathing down Aaron Garcia's neck to try and get him to scramble, but he's a great runner as well. Well, the Rattlers and the Barnstormers have a history. They played 4 times and split the overall series. 2 of the 4 games coming in the playoffs.
And the big one was back in '97, Arena Bowl 11. Arizona comes in, beats Iowa 61-40. Donnie Davis was MVP of that game, so see if he can't repeat it tonight.
He sure was the star, a starring role in that Arena Bowl for Donnie Davis. Let's relive the memory of Arena Bowl 11 back in 1997 as we get set for tonight's kickoff between the Rattlers and the Barnstormers here from the America West Arena. 2nd and 3.
Checker has the new Blue Coral self-wash power system that connects right to your garden hose and a complete line of top-quality Autolite remanufactured starters and alternators. More brands, more parts. Checker, the place to start for parts.
They are the only remaining undefeated teams in arena football. The 2-0 Iowa Barnstormers, the 1-0 Arizona Rattlers, ready to do battle tonight from the America West Arena. Let's check the Scottsdale Healthcare injury report. We talked about Shakes. Tucker is down with that knee injury, but Kyle Fuller, the story, they've had to replace him, Ed.
Well, but they went back to Anthony Brenner, who was here in '97. Very successful year for Brenner. Retired to go into the furniture business. They got him out of the furniture store and back into the Arena Football League.
The lucrative furniture business, we should add. Best Buy with our matchup. As you see, Anthony Brenner right there. He was just a workhorse and impeccable in that Arena Bowl.
I can see him in a brown tweed jacket selling furniture, though.
Yeah, we'll try and get a coffee table from him before the night's out. Best Buy, that's a great idea, and this is our great matchup. Hunky and Leonard Conley, both with a return for a touchdown early in this season.
Both these guys are very explosive when they get the ball in their hands on kickoff returns. The kickoff return will be a lot of fun to watch tonight. Hunky Cooper's going to get the shot right out of the gate.
Hunky will have the first attempt to make it 2 returns for a score. He took it back against New Jersey in the opener 2 weeks ago. Again, the Rattlers had a bye week early in this season. They played 2 weeks ago, had the week off, and now here they are in game number 2, looking to make it 2-0 on the season. Budweiser with tonight's kickoff. And as always, brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser. Kicking things off, Steve Opstead for the Barnstormers. Here we go from downtown Phoenix. The Rattlers and Barnstormers. It's Hunky. Necktied at the 8-yard line, thrown down there by Tony Ketchings. Lineup's brought to you by our Arizona Dodge dealers. And here is the Rattlers offense. Donnie Davis at quarterback, and his targets, Goins, Gatewood, and Hunky Cooper, who just had a huge game. We mentioned that return for a touchdown. He also had 2 scoring passes that he took into the end zone from Donnie Davis.
He'll have some other guys in the lineup tonight, too. Look for number 21, Jai Hill, and also Muhammad Oliver will get a lot of time at receiver tonight as well.
There you see Donnie Davis's 7 passing touchdowns, and another one that he ran in from 2 yards out. First play from scrimmage tonight. Davis looking deep. In and out of the hands of Randy Gatewood, who is wide open, and there is a flag down at the 10. Back at the line of scrimmage, but Randy Gatewood saw that go right between his arms. One of the few times that we've seen Donnie Davis go deep. There are a lot of short patterns in that first week.
Mac linebacker was out of the box. 5-yard penalty.
Linebacker out of his pocket, so the penalty goes against the Iowa Barnstormers.
Linebackers in the Arena Football League can only go as wide as the offensive guards and as deep as 5 yards. Drifted back into the defensive backfield, that linebacker did.
Take a look at Iowa's defense. In 2 games this year, their defense has racked up 7 interceptions. Amazing statistic.
And a lot of that goes, credit should go to Gary Howe and Tony Catchings, their defensive linemen, both of them very good pass rushers in the middle. Gary Howe, short, squatty guy, gets good push in the middle. We'll watch him all night. Art
Hagee is their defensive coordinator with Iowa. Head coach is John Gregory. They both have been with the team all 5 seasons for Iowa. They go short now. The Rattlers do to Eddie Goins, and he takes in his first pass reception of the evening. And you mentioned, Ed, that Eddie looked a little gimpy. It was not his knees. In talking to some of the players and coaches and Eddie himself, it was not the knee that's been injured that he's had surgery on.
Had a little tweak of his ankle in the first game. Looked quite gimpy towards the end of the game, but I was watching him during pregame warm-ups, and earlier this week he looks almost 100% healthy, coming out of his breaks very nicely.
2nd down and 4 now. Davis has the play, as called by head coach Danny White. Just underway here at the America West Arena. Tom Leander along with Ed Cunningham. Rattlers football on the WB. 2nd and 4. And it's first down yardage for Donnie Davis and Randy Gatewood. So Randy a little more comfortable going down to the turf rather than a deep post pattern.
Randy drops that one. He might as well just continue into the locker room and call it a night, because Danny'd probably pull him. Danny tried to take a shot on the first play, had it open to Randy Gatewood. Now he goes back to what he always knows is there. Danny White, in the Arena Football League, it's so hard to play pass defense. All your defensive backs are on islands. When you have guys like Randy Gatewood, Hunky, Eddie Goins, who are you going to cover? You're in a lot of underneath stuff. Eventually, it will open up the deep stuff.
Gatewood only 3 full seasons with the Rattlers already. He's their 4th all-time leading receiver, but he's not getting it done here in the early going. He's dropped 2 of them now. Again, it hits your hands, and coaches expect that one to be brought in.
Yeah, that's like an open 10-footer in the NBA. You can't miss too many of those before a coach is going to get in your face mask a little bit.
Donnie with the play from Danny White and Donnie Davis is Mike.
That was 1-on-2. Left X loop, laser, screen left to the tight end. On two, right? Let's go. Hold in.
Davis now on 2nd and 10 after the incompletion to Gatewood, and it's Eddie Goins in motion. Davis looking for the screen play, but on his back was Tony Henderson, and he still makes the reception. You know, I couldn't even figure out who it was because his numbers were flat on the ground. Tony Henderson, the versatile lineman of the Rattlers.
Tony Henderson's lined up as a left guard. When he goes to release, his feet got tangled up with the guy who was blocking. Now, okay, we can make fun of him because he tripped and fell on his fanny, but you know, he made the catch while he's on his back. I mean, got to give the guy a little bit of credit.
He was the top receiving lineman last season with 5 receptions on the year, so they like to go to Tony.
Who could forget that game against Grand Rapids last year where we went through 3 fullbacks. They had to put Tony in the backfield, and he ended up rushing for 36 yards on the night. Had just a great night running the ball.
It was like reliving the fridge with the Bears. We're going to take a break. 11:26 to go here in the first quarter. Rattlers on their first possession. 3rd and 9 when we come back.
Cellular One was one of the first to bring you a cell phone. We'll be the first to bring it to everyone.
I've got something to show you. I've got something to show you.
It's one of the perks for arena football players. They get free dinner at different restaurants throughout the valley, and you get a chance to actually eat with the Rattlers every Tuesday night at 7. You can join them for dinner at Country Harvest on the southwest corner of Priest and Elliott in Tempe. It's just another one of those things. They don't get paid a lot, but they also don't have to pay for their meals all the time.
It's all about perks with the Arizona Rattlers. It's one way Gene Nudo, has the vice president of player personnel here, does a real good job of giving a lot of perks to the players. That's how he gets a lot of guys to come here and play.
You forgot to mention that Gene eats for free, too.
Oh, of course.
Davis on 3rd down, incomplete. So now, no flag. So now the decision, I talked to Danny White before the game. Would he go with Anthony Brenner? Here he comes onto the field, number 23, and he's replacing Kyle Pooler, who is out with that abdominal and groin strain. And Danny White said he might hesitate in bringing Brenner back. He retired last season, said he has been kicking once a week at his new home in Orlando, and Danny said he would watch Anthony before the game to see how sharp he was, and here's his first attempt. It will be from 38 yards. A 38-yard attempt for Anthony Brenner back for the Arizona Rattlers, and Danny said he's their best all-time kicker. It's up. It is good. Welcome back, Anthony Brenner. Danny liked what he saw in the pregame, and Anthony Brenner comes back and is still as solid as when he left in that Arena Bowl victory in 1997. With that Rattler field goal, Lennar Holmes donates $100 to Rattler Charities. Anthony Brenner, 38 yards away. And remember, those goalposts are only 9 feet apart. He split them right down the middle, baby. Rattlers up 3-0.
If you're looking for quick and easy meals, start with fresh fruit. I got all of this from my neighborhood fries, and I saved big with my VIP card. Today we're making a fresh fruit salad. I peeled and cut up cantaloupe and melon, then I add grapes, apples, and fresh strawberries, cherries, and orange slices for tang. And just like that, you've got a cool dish for a summer meal.
There's not a store today that can take me away from my fries.
During Adventure 99, you can lease a Dodge Durango for only $349 a month. Or if you buy a Dodge Caravan, get your choice of a $1,000 cash allowance or a vacation package worth up to $1,800 at the new Universal Studios Islands of Adventure theme park in Orlando, Florida. Or a vacation package at Universal Studios Hollywood. It's the adventure of a lifetime, and we have the rides to prove it. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Phoenix Airport Hilton with the next 3 games. Phoenix Airport Hilton, the official host hotel of the Arizona Rattlers. And, man, I'm going to be in the same hotel and same room with Ed Cunningham for the next 2 weekends, it appears. That's, again, going back to arena football. You may get the free meals, but everybody bunks up together, including the announcers.
Did you have that snoring surgery yet? It's like a chainsaw in there sometimes with you.
Yep. Can't wait to travel with you, too. Anthony Brenner with his first kickoff back here with the Rattlers in 1999, and is taken by Leonard Conley. He's taken one home for a touchdown so far this season, and this one goes to the 16-yard line, and a horde of Rattlers in on the stop. At the bottom of the pile was number 93, Stacey Evans, in his first game as an Arizona Rattler. Here's the Iowa offense, brought to you by, again, the Arizona Dodge dealers. Aaron Garcia, the former Rattler, second game coming back to the America West Arena since being the Rattlers' starting quarterback in 1995, and his numbers have been impressive, though. Ed, he has thrown 3 interceptions in the first 2 games.
But their first 2 games so impressive, you almost can kind of wipe those 3 interceptions away at the beginning of the season because of the wins they've had.
And Garcia goes down. The ball not batted away. He still tried to throw it on his back. They're going to call it an incomplete pass, I believe, or will they give it a sack? I don't know if he tripped up over his own lineman's foot or if one of the Rattlers got in there.
I tell you what happened was Joe Birch shoved the center, Gary Howe, right into the lap of Aaron Garcia. Garcia unable to get his feet out from underneath the center. Great job by Joe Birch, just snapping off the ball, driving the center. Excuse me, the center there is not Gary Howe, it is Larry Blue, number 3. How many centers have you seen wear number 3? But a good job by Joe Birch getting off the line.
A wannabe offensive specialist, Larry Blue. On second down, Garcia does complete it, picks up some positive yards, going to Kevin Swain, his top receiver of the season. That's his 11th catch of the year. Mohamed Oliver, one of the defenders for defensive coordinator Doug Kay and his Rattlers defense. Cecil Doggett, 2 interceptions in the opener 2 weeks ago.
They were huge in the end zone. Cecil Doggett, of course, we love every time he gets an interception. He goes into that dog walk routine, but just 2 huge interceptions against New Jersey 2 weeks ago.
3rd and 5. Rattlers held to a field goal on their first possession. They need a stop here. Garcia over the middle to Swain, and it's dropped. Cecil Doggett knocks it away. It's a catch. That's a pass that should have been caught by their top receiver, Kevin Swain.
Perfect timing by Cecil Doggett. Has to come through number 4, Kevin Swain, to get to the ball, and he hits him right as the ball gets there. Swain not able to hang on. Doggett got that right hand through and got to bat it away. An excellent play by Doggett.
This will be a 44-yard attempt on the field goal by Steve Opstead. 44 yards away. Steve Opstead coming into the season. He has had 1 attempt so far this year. It was good from 32, and this one is wide right. Cooper takes it live off the net, but nowhere to run, nowhere to hide as he goes down at the 3. So in a game that is normally dominated by touchdown scores, each team with a field goal attempt on their first possession. Anthony Brenner hit his. Opstead missed his attempt, and the Rattlers maintain their 3-0 lead with 8:12 to go here in the first.
Wow, we have a defensive struggle. I mean, this is amazing. Both teams, when you hold a team to a field goal attempt, it is a defensive stop. Well, we've already had 2. 2 weeks ago against New Jersey, there was 1 defensive stop in the entire game. So with 8 minutes left in the first quarter, we've already had 2.
The Stormers came into this game having scored 69 points in their first win at Houston, and then 64 last week against defending champion Orlando. The Rattlers put 62 on the board against New Jersey. Bob McMillan on the rumble right. So it is surprising to see these teams going to field goals on their first possession.
Big Bob at 255 pounds. He was part of the injured crew last year, blew out his knee back full speed, little toss sweep. Matt Eller pulls out, does a really nice job of coming back. Matt Eller back in uniform for the first time this year, played last year for the Rattlers. You mentioned 2 years with Iowa, but a real nice job of Matt Eller when he pulled out there, saw the linebacker Connolly blitzing up the middle, turned back and got a nick on him so Bob could get around him.
Eller, another guy who's trying to juggle his career with arena football and missed the first game. Donnie Davis throws it away. Nobody even in the vicinity of that pass.
Hunky looks at Donnie and then looks downfield and then looks back at Donnie like, hey, Donnie, there's nobody back there.
But Danny White is happy to have Matt Eller back. We talked about Anthony Brenner with his furniture business, Matt Eller and mortgage brokerage company back home in Iowa. And he decided to, all right, come back, play arena football with the Rattlers, brought his family and his business here to Phoenix, and he wanted to play a little more football.
You know, a lot of the guys in this league play simply because they love to play the game. It has nothing to do with the money, because obviously Matt Eller probably makes more dough selling mortgages than he does playing for the Rattlers, but they just love playing in this league.
Over the middle, Eddie Goins had to adjust. The pass was behind him, but number 88 reels it in for the first down. We saw a shaky beginning to Eddie Goins' career with the Rattlers. He dropped that opening kickoff in game number 1, but since then, you can see he's getting more comfortable and making the plays that everybody's been raving about.
And he comes out of his break a little bit late. The ball was thrown behind him, and a great job of getting your head around. You know, everything's timing in this passing game. You have to whip your head around right away because the ball's in the air before you turn around. Good job by Goins. 5 receptions, 2 touchdowns in the first game, and taking a shot was Muhammad Oliver. He was jacked there by Carlos James on the incomplete pass. Davis's pass was tipped. Excuse me, Donnie Davis decides to go with Muhammad Oliver, but Eddie Goins had Shea Showers shook out of his shoes down the middle of the field.
Watch the shot that Oliver will take, too, if you can see it at the bottom of your screen.
A little friendly push in the back by Carlos.
2 straight years on the second-team All-Arena for Carlos James, one of their top Ironmen. Coming into this game, 7 receptions and 2 interceptions on defense. Oliver was in motion, and the pitch goes to Bob McMillan. So we're still seeing the offense for both teams a little stagnant in the early going.
Okay, you've got a 6'3", 255-pound fullback in Bob McMillan. And the linebacker from Iowa who comes through to try to make the tackle is Leonard Connolly. He goes 5'9", 180. You got to give him an A for effort, though, Tom. I mean, he hung on for dear life until all his buddies could show up. But McMillan's decided, you know, I'm not going to try to run around him. I'll just throw a forearm into his chest and take him 2 yards.
3rd down and 8 now for the Rattlers. Davis, screen play, wide open. Darren Kenny looking for 6 and then tripped up and flipped over at the 5. Check that, it's Jamie Washell. I'm sorry, it is not Darren Kenny. Jamie Washell on the screen. And he got flipped at the 6. That's where they'll mark it.
Jamie Washell was questionable coming into this game with a sore hamstring. Here, they decide to run a little late delay screen to the eligible offensive guard, which is Washell. It didn't look like his hamstring was bothering him there. Got down the field fairly quick.
Pickup of 22 yards for Jamie Washell out of Purdue.
We saw those screens a lot, about 5 times against New Jersey, but they went to the fullback against New Jersey. Now Danny throws a little wrinkle in, and he's running the delay screen to the tight end.
Again, the short patterns. We were so used to seeing Bonner and Shakes going deep. Here's the lob. Softball in the corner of the end zone and knocked away at the last second by Mike Horacek.
Horacek does an excellent job getting there late. The ball, just a little too much air under that ball by Donnie Davis, giving Horacek the chance to get under it. But a nice job of closing on it. Donnie floats this ball up, intended for Eddie Goins. Horacek gets there right at the right time and gets his hands through. But again, the ball just lofted just a little too much. Eddie, the ball a little behind him, had to stop and come back to it. Nice play by Horacek.
Horacek, another local product for the Iowa Barnstormers. He starred at Iowa State as a Cyclone there. 2nd and 5. Davis looking over the middle, looking for Goins, and there's a flag down. This time Horacek will get called for the penalty. Little too much contact there with Eddie Goins.
Well, the Rattlers getting lucky because Donnie Davis is not as sharp as he was against New Jersey.
By the defense, number 15, ball's placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
There's 2 balls in a row that Donnie Davis has thrown late and put just a little too much air on them. Eddie Goins wasn't going to make that catch even if Horacek didn't interfere with him. Kind of a ticky-tack call either way. They could have called it, could have not called it. It could have gone either way, but really two poorly thrown balls by Donnie Davis.
In game number 1, Donnie Davis, in a situation just like this, took it in himself. We'll see if Danny White keeps it on the ground with Donnie.
Enforcement, automatic first down for pass interference. The foul was not intentional, therefore the ball is not placed at the 1.
If it's intentional pass interference, in other words, a guy just drags somebody down to save a touchdown, they put it on the 1. It was not intentional, so it goes back to the 3.
Do they actually interview the player and ask him, was that intentional?
Now, did you mean to do that? Oh, no, man, I was falling down. Just grabbed a piece of his jersey.
Honesty. I'm sure they would get it. So now it's 1st and goal from the 3. Donnie on the reverse. Hunky Cooper with Leonard Conley to beat. Ed Moore goes down. They lost a yard.
A little misdirection by the Rattlers. They fake a dive play to Pahopic. Hunky Cooper lined up over to the left side in the trips formation, runs out like he's blocking, then spins off and comes around. Donnie barely gets the handoff as Rodney Filer nails him in the back. Iowa sniffed that one out from the get-go.
They'll actually place it again at the 3. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the original line of scrimmage. Goins in motion. Oliver split out wide with Cooper in the slot. Davis back. Davis has passed into a pile of players at the line. Anthony Hutch, one of the players who put their hands up and knocked it away.
Boy, Muhammad Oliver, Eddie Goins, and Hunky Cooper were all stuffed at the line of scrimmage as they tried to release in their routes. Donnie had nowhere to go with that ball. Goins and Hunky run right into each other. Goins breaks out of the pack. That's who Donnie Davis was looking to, but those two guys just ran smack into each other and it delayed the route.
Donnie now has missed on 5 of his last 7 attempts. Into the end zone. This time it's good to go to Muhammad Oliver. Just a short little curl pattern to Oliver, who's getting his first taste of offense this season for the Rattlers.
Little option route. Oliver runs inside on number 20, John Fisher, then breaks back to the outside wide open. And that's one thing Donnie Davis has. Very lively arm. Gets the ball in there in a hurry for the touchdown.
Brenner is up and good on the point after. And that's worth $25 to Rattler Charities, courtesy Lennar Homes. It's our first touchdown of the night with 43 seconds to go. In quarter number 1, Donnie Davis hooking up with Muhammad Oliver.
Till Tuesday at the Room Store, get super savings on living rooms, including leather and reclining, bedrooms and dining rooms, including Bassett, and a great selection of Sealy and Simmons mattress and box spring sets. And don't pay till May 2000. No money down, no interest, and no payments. Save on this 7-piece living room with sofa, love seat, cocktail table, 2 end tables, and 2 lamps, only $7.97. This casual 7-piece living room, only $9.97. Or this designer 7-piece living room, only $14.97. Don't miss super savings till Tuesday. Get no money down, no interest, no payments till May 2000, only at the Room Store.
At the Room Store.
All right, being Ash Kicker, Arizona Smokers Helpline, 1-800-556-6222. The call is free. The program is free. Muhammad Oliver with the touchdown reception, and the Rattlers are up 10-zip on the Barnstormers here with 43 seconds to go in the first quarter.
And with Calvin Schexnayder down, the Rattlers are looking a lot of different areas to help them on offense. Muhammad Oliver, defensive back out of the University of Oregon, played in the NFL for 5 years as a defensive back, had some problems with some knee injuries. Talking to Gene Nudo before the start of the season, he said this is one guy who has improved an aspect of his game probably more than anybody. That's the offensive aspect for Muhammad Oliver. Really starting to use him quite a bit on offense. And really, he was brought in here as a defensive back, so a nice addition on the offensive side for the Rattlers.
And he's really playing in front of his hometown fans. He was a star at North High School here in the Valley.
Spent some time in the NFL. He went from the Broncos to the Chiefs to the Packers, Dolphins, Redskins. Had 3 knee surgeries during his career. Quite amazing that Muhammad Oliver is actually still putting on the pads.
One day we'll add up all the knee surgeries on this Rattlers team. Get the calculator out. Get the fork out, Leonard Conley, who who barely gets it out of the end zone and is down at the 2-yard line. So the normally sure-handed Leonard Conley running for his life there in the end zone and just barely got positive yardage.
You know what, though, Tom? If he doesn't lose his footing, this could have ended up being quite a big return. There was a little bit of space out there. He finds a little hole, and if he doesn't slip, I think he might be able to get by Stacey Evans, or excuse me, Oscar Sturgeon, and get some real positive yards out of that return.
All right, those are the ones you normally see taken back when they fumble it in the end zone and the defense commits. Quick drop, and Swain with the reception, but it's loose on the turf. Swain got it back. And it'll be second down for the Barnstormers. Head coach John Gregory in his 5th year, the only head coach that Iowa has ever had, and his team has not put any points on the board in the first quarter against the hometown Arizona Rattlers. We're headed to the second quarter. The Rattlers on the WB, up by 10.
Introducing chicken salad at Subway. Try our chicken salad sub. Tender all-white meat chicken salad with your choice of fresh veggies handmade right in front of you. Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Are you sure that's the right number?
When you really need the right number, dial 411 from US West. One more reason life's better here.
Yeah, Springfield, Illinois. I'd like a number to the Lincoln Museum, please.
For numbers coast to coast, dial 411.
And I need a Philadelphia number, too.
411 from US West. One more reason life's better here.
Welcome to Cost Cutters. How can we make your hair look great today?
Is your look,
At Cost Cutters, the look you want is the look you'll get.
It's your look.
So visit Cost Cutters today and tell us, how can we make your hair look great? Cost Cutters, your look, your way.
My idea? I want to go to prom with the idea box.
What's up, prom? I am going to bust a move.
Oh, no.
Where's the party? Heads up, coming through. Got a safe prom. Party time.
Put a party in your car. Rockford Fosgate, now at Best Buy. Now that's a great idea.
Oh, Rattler fans are the best. And those are 2 of the faithful, 3 of the faithful that are always there entertaining us. And we hope they know when to say when, because Arizona's Budweiser distributors remind you to drink responsibly. Hey. Know when to say when, baby.
Hey, man, we're on TV, man. Wow. You can't wear those wigs out in the heat like it is right now.
No. The sweat would just be profuse. Second down and 2 for the Stormers. Iowa still looking for their first points of the game, and Garcia going for it all. Kevin Swain down to the 3-yard line. The long ball, Garcia just threw it up, and there was nobody near Kevin Swain, who just waited for it to come down.
Garcia running for his life as Stacey Evans gets a great pass rush up the middle. Doesn't get a whole lot of air on that ball. Kind of wobbly the whole way, but Swain had Muhammad Oliver beat dead to rights. Not even in the picture yet. If that ball could have been thrown a little deeper, that would have been 6 points for Iowa.
That's what happens when you don't have a free safety in arena football.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to play defense without a center fielder.
Pitch play to Carlos James. James right on the boards. Doggett, Bo Kelly, and Oscar Sturgis all getting a piece of Carlos James.
And our big guy, Cedric Walker, number 5, set a record back in 1997 with 108 tackles. Great pursuit from inside out. Forces Carlos James into the boards. A little help from Cecil Doggett. Good defense by Arizona.
Second down and goal from the 4. James in motion. Kevin Swain, touchdown Iowa. Great set of hands for Kevin Swain. The pass was high.
And outside.
High and outside, and it had a little zip to it too.
Muhammad Oliver thought he had a pick going the other way. Swain at 6'2", very long arms, reaches back to get this thing. Oliver thinks he's taking it the other way, and Swain just reaches up, nabs it out of the air, and takes it in for 6. I think Oliver thought, wait, what happened to that ball? Oh, it's in the end zone.
What happened to my 6? Instead, he'll be explaining himself tomorrow in films. The point after by Opstad is no good, and he's getting an earful from his teammate Carlos James. Opstad has missed a field goal and now a point after, and Carlos James getting his players fired up. Number 5 over there.
Hey, Opstad's 6'2", 230, man. Yeah. I don't know if I'd be messing with him too much, Carlos.
All right, Opstad thinking this one over. Rattlers lead is 10-6 on Kevin Swain and the Iowa Barnstormers.
Come on, he's taking too long. I should have gone.
Yeah, he should have gone, man. He should have gone.
Do it. He's coming, and he's gone. This is all I can get. You did good, Billy. You did real good.
Yeah, the boy should have planted that tree hours ago.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Can I go now?
No.
You want breaking news and big stories right now? 620 KTAR has Arizona's largest radio news team. KTAR reports news and information that affects all of us. We're the only live, local, 24-hour radio news source. If it's happening in the valley, in the nation, in the world, we're on it. KTAR is the place to get the latest news. And you can talk about it. Immediate, interactive. News Radio 620 KTAR, the first name in news.
We mentioned this was a rematch of Arena Bowl 11 back in 1997. Cost Cutters now with our championship flashback.
Zeroed in on the first play of the second quarter to start a 42-13 Rattler onslaught over the next 30 minutes. And who better to lead this domination than the quintessential Rattler, Hunky Cooper. The vaunted Barnstormer scoring machine was spindled and mutilated, producing just 2 field goals and a late third quarter touchdown.
All right, that wasn't quite John Facenda with the voiceover, but the NFL Films music always making it even more dramatic. Hunky Cooper, such a big game as Opstad gets ready to kick things off, but it's Eddie Goins back now instead of Hunky. Goins takes it off the net. And taken down at the 10-yard line by John Fisher.
Nice job by Eddie. Find a little seam in there.
Got a nice clean bounce off that net, too. This is Eddie's first year of arena football. And it's always a little,
yeah, a little shaky.
A little nerve-wracking. Wondering if it's going to catch some iron.
One of the reasons the Rattlers were so good in that first quarter and were up 10-0 was they dominated time of possession. They're at 11:47 now, Iowa 5:15, but the first quarter was 11:47 Arizona, 3:13 Iowa.
Donnie Davis on the scramble, and he gets knocked out at the 18-yard line. Donnie so far in the game, 6 of 12 passing, 48 yards and a touchdown. That went to Muhammad Oliver, but he does have those fancy feet, and that's what Danny White really expected to see from Donnie. We didn't see much of it, though, in the first game. He stayed back in the pocket. This is what he can do, though, make things happen on the run.
Really didn't need to scramble much in the first game. Great protection by Arizona. They've only given up 2 sacks in the last 2+ seasons coming into this year. And Donnie Davis, although he's the leading rusher right now for the Rattlers. Last game he didn't have to really pull it down much, but that time Bobby Jurison came through the middle and got a good rush, flushed him out of the pocket.
Goins in motion. Davis looking deep, looking for Goins, but intercepted and picked off there by Shea Showers.
Their defensive specialist out of Florida in his second year. He's the team leader in tackles and pass breakups, and he comes up with the pick here.
Donnie missed 2 touchdown passes on the last possession. This time just severely underthrows Eddie Goins. Goins had Showers beat the whole way, but Donnie just seems to be a little hesitant. It seems like he's waiting when the guys are open. He's waiting another second or two and allowing the defenders of Iowa to come underneath and make plays on the ball. We saw one. Horacek broke one up earlier in the end zone intended for Eddie Goins. That time Showers comes underneath the route that's wide open and makes the interception.
Danny White said before this game that he still looks at the same scenario. You see Chad May there. He may well go to Chad May before this game is over. Going deep, it's a touchdown. Spencer from Aaron Garcia. Chris Spencer, 5th-year player out of Iowa State, and he made the sweet grab of the Aaron Garcia bomb.
Cecil Doggett giving quite a bit of size up to Spencer. Spencer goes 6'4", 235 pounds. A huge wide receiver by anybody's standards, but Doggett went underneath of that to try to knock it away and just couldn't quite get up high enough to knock it out. Good concentration by Spencer over the shoulder, bringing it in.
That's his 5th reception of the year, and he has 3 touchdowns. Talk about making the most out of your opportunities.
Pretty good slugging percentage.
Obstead. Let's see if he can make one through and get Carlos James off his back. He knocks it through, and the Iowa Barnstormers all of a sudden have come to life. They trailed 10-0, but now they have scored 13 unanswered. Chris Spencer with the hands, and the Rattlers find themselves down by 3.
I quit smoking here, and it was supposed to last for the rest of my life. Turned out I needed a cigarette, blip, and blip, 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 blip. Yeah, I blew it. But I quit again. This time for a day, no blip, and another, until now I'm getting it. It's blipping amazing.
Checker has the new Blue Coral self-wash power system that connects right to your garden hose, and a complete line of top-quality Autolite remanufactured starters and alternators. More brands, more parts. Checker, the place to start for parts.
It's almost time to raise the roof with Cheryl Miller and the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury. For ticket information, call 252-WNBA. But here at the America West Arena tonight, we're talking Rattlers Arena football. And Arizona finding themselves down for the first time this evening, 13-10 with 10:49 to go here in the second quarter, a quarter that has been owned so far by Iowa. Eddie Goins, second attempt at a return. He has some space. He has some moves. He has some speed. Eddie Goins to the zone. 55 yards for Eddie Goins. First return for a touchdown as a Rattler.
If you're Steve Obstead, the kicker, you know what theme song you're hearing right now? Now this is the story of the castaway. I mean, you are killing it, man. You've got nowhere to run. You got a guy running at you that is much faster than you with a lot more moves and better hips. It's a pretty lonely feeling for Obstead.
Brenner, 2 of 2 on his point afters. And what a great shot of Eddie Goins. You can really feel the speed on that 55-yard return. The extra point, by the way, net $25 more to Rattlers Charities. We're talking Eddie Goins moving and grooving into the end zone, and the Rattlers retake the lead, 17-13. Back after this.
On the next Pensacola Wings of Gold.
1 minute you're going to marry my dad, and then the next minute you come out here, and I just need a little time to get used to it.
Well, maybe this is going to help, okay?
Things are heating up a little for Spoon.
You're going to get burned.
Well, so are you.
And a surprise visit.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, but it's pretty obvious what's going on. I mean, she must be some girl.
Could cause him to crash and burn. You spy on us? On the next Pensacola Wings of Gold.
Tonight at 9:30 on WB61 and Cox Cable Channel 6.
The crowd electrified by that 55-yard kickoff return for a score by Eddie Goins, and the Rattlers up 17-13 with just under 10 minutes to go until the half.
But as we know in arena football, you can't celebrate for too long because now you're kicking off to Kevin Swain, who's averaged 24 yards per kickoff return this year. Now your coverage has to go down and not let what happened to Iowa happen to you. It's amazing how quickly this game can go back and forth.
Not much of a drop-off for either team. Hunky replaced by Eddie Goins. Leonard Conley now gives way to Kevin Swain.
Exactly.
Swain, the team's MVP last year. He's at the 10. He cuts left. He's at the 15, heading toward midfield and down thanks to Bob McMillan, who shoved him out just before he got to midfield.
Safe to say Kevin Swain has some quicks, though. Woo. He made up a lot of ground in a hurry. Good job by Bob McMillan, peeling back and not letting Swain get to the outside, but a very good return by Swain. Finds an opening and then just turns on the jets, runs right around Darren Kenny. Good hustle by Bob McMillan. Had to stretch all the way out to shove Swain into the boards.
You're right. The first-team kick returners are the ones that are the shiftier players. Their backups are the ones that have the speed burners. Garcia rolling out, and the pass tipped away by the dog man. Cecil Doghead.
You have to have horrible short-term memory to play defensive back in the Arena Football League. Matter of fact, you should just have that part of your brain taken out. Remember a few plays ago, Doghead went underneath Chris Spencer to try to knock the ball away and was burnt for a touchdown. Does the exact same thing this time. Young might have got away with a little left-hand wraparound, but this time does the exact same thing and knocks it away. You just can't remember the other play. You got to keep going with what works.
We talked about Aaron Garcia being the competitor. He does not throw a pretty ball. And this one is batted back in his face by number 90, Oscar Sturgis. First game this season for the Rattlers, coming off an ankle injury. He actually has a brace on his ankle that is allowing him to play here tonight.
Good pressure inside by Sturgis. Gets right inside 95. Tony Catchings gets that big left hand up there. And Kenny, who led the team in sacks last year, had good push up the middle from his nose guard spot. But this is the type of pass rush you have to get in this league.
3rd and 10, and Rattler fans want to stop. Soft one over the middle to Swain for the first down, and he stays on his feet, spins. No, they'll give him 6. Wow, a delayed reaction by both officials. They waited until he had already walked into the end zone, looked at each other, and they both signaled the score at the same delayed time.
Hard to tell if Swain stepped out of bounds as he went up the sideline.
Well, I'd love to see a look on the officials' face as they looked at each other and said, well, you want to give it to him?
Muhammad Oliver just goes too high. Good call by the official. Did not step out of bounds. They just wanted to make sure that he was in. And Olmstead clanks another one.
Oh, look out for Carlos Brooks, your teammate. Not a happy camper when Ofsted is off the mark on his second point after. 7:34 to go. We told you this game is all about offense. Well, finally, it's coming true.
Did you start a business today? What if you did? How can Bank of America help you succeed? Bank of America. Put your future in motion.
The Rattlers have renamed their annual golf tournament the Milton Vaughn Memorial. 7th annual event is May 24th at Orange Tree Golf Resort and benefits the American Heart Association and Rattlers Charities. To enter, give a call at 379-7569. The tournament in the memory of former Rattler player Milton Vaughn, who passed away last year. Kevin Swain with his second touchdown in this first half, and it was a beauty as he spun around, stayed in bounds, and has given Iowa their second lead of the game. Hunky Cooper, after watching his replacement, Eddie Goins, go 55 yards, now knows that he better step it up.
Went up to Danny and say, hey, enough of that. I'd like to go back in, please.
Opstead, short off the net, and here comes Hunky. Hunky is still up. Hunky cuts right, and down at the 16-yard line. Stop made there by Matthias Vavao.
That's what makes Hunky Cooper so special. He's not the straight-ahead fastest guy. He's got great quicks, great moves, but it's his strength, really, that sets him apart. Leonard Conley, one of the best defensive players in all of arena football, on the spot to try to make the tackle, and Hunky just runs right through the arm tackle of Conley, never stops his feet, has great lower body strength. That's what makes him so special.
Donnie Davis trying to keep himself in this ball game. He's thrown that one interception here in the first half, and Chad May waiting in the wings for his first shot of the season if Donnie does stumble. He's rolling right. Davis now fires to Gatewood, complete for the first down. John Fisher with the coverage.
John Fisher had great coverage on Randy that time. The same little option route that Muhammad Oliver ran earlier for the touchdown. That time Fisher was all over Randy Gatewood. An excellent catch. And a good pass by Donnie Davis. Got it to the outside.
Corner wide zone. On one.
Donnie Davis with the play as the Rattlers have it 1st and 10. Just in front of midfield. Goins on the fly. And a flag down as Goins got tied up with Shea Showers. The penalty will go against Showers and the Barnstormers.
Eddie Goins was running the post pattern and then stopped mid-track and came back towards the middle. Shea Showers had no choice but to tackle him.
Holding, defense, number 2, 8 yards. Automatic, first down.
Free safety at Florida. Shea Showers knows that he cannot do that. It's not like he was an offensive player in college. He knows the rules back there in the defensive secondary.
Now here's a quiz for you. What would you rather have if you're Shea Showers? An 8-yard penalty or a touchdown for Rattlers? Pretty simple quiz, I think.
Just under 6 minutes to go here in the half. It's Gatewood in motion. Gatewood is the target, but Donnie Davis throws it behind him, and he had Randy open across the middle. Just a simple down and in pattern for Gatewood on the short post right in front of the end zone. And you know that Chad May is looking for his first shot.
Donnie just doesn't look as comfortable in the pocket as he did in that game 1. You know, the first game against New Jersey, Donnie just looked calm. His feet looked steady. Now he looks really hesitant, and it's like he's second-guessing where he's going with the ball.
This is a player that is armed with tons of confidence. There he goes to Bob McMillan, and McMillan steps out at the 9.
But these are the types of things that Danny White can do as the offensive coordinator for the Rattlers, is start to simplify a few things for Donnie. Just let him throw some simple passes. This time, Bob McMillan lets his rush responsibility go, so he's going to be wide open. Just a simple little toss over the rush defensive end to Bob. Maybe try to get Donnie settled down a little bit with some easier throws.
6'5", 305, Matthias Vavao was the one who went airborne, so a nice job there by Davis with the touch pass to McMillan up and over Vavao. 3rd and 4. Davis in the pocket to Gatewood. First down and more. Touchdown Rattlers, and Randy Gatewood, double trouble, takes it in for 6. Just as it appeared that Donnie Davis was struggling back there, he goes to some shorter routes and is allowing his receivers to do the rest.
Randy Gatewood back in '97 arguably could have got MVP of the team. He was first on the team with 5 interceptions, second on the team with 62 receptions, then got hurt a bunch last year. So good to see number 17 healthy again.
How about Anthony Brenner? Come on in from Orlando, spelled Kyle Fuller. He has not kicked competitively for 2 years, and he's perfect point after. He's also added a 38-yard field goal, and the Rattlers on top 24-19, exactly 4 minutes to go here in the first half.
On Walker, Texas Ranger.
There are no innocent men inside these walls.
Walker goes behind bars.
I hear you're king of the hill around here.
To keep a crime boss in for life.
Must be a dangerous profession with a man like you.
Only if you cross me.
Even if it means his own death sentence.
Well, he's a cop. The last guy we sent in there got a screwdriver through his neck.
On the next Walker, Texas Ranger.
Tonight at 10:30 on WB61 and Cox Cable Channel 6.
WB61 brings you these live action heroes, the Arizona Rattlers. Next Saturday, May 15th, will be coming your way from San Jose. It's the Rattlers and the Sabercats, Saturday, May 15th at 7:30. John Gregory, head coach of Iowa and also director of football operations. Last season, they went 5-9 and missed the playoffs for the first time. In their first 3 seasons, they went to 2 Arena Bowls and the semifinals last year. Took a real step backwards after losing their quarterback, Kurt Warner, and Willis Jaycox, but it looks like he's fortified his team once again.
Well, they went out and got Aaron Garcia in a trade with New Jersey 5 games into the season, and Garcia really played well at the end of the year. He's come back and done a nice job again in '99.
Leonard Conley had to fall on it, so we've seen the starting kick returners, Hunky Cooper and Leonard Conley, who are our best by matchups, struggle a little bit more than their replacements, Swain and Eddie Goins, who's electrified the crowd here in the first half, but Conley just lucky to get back on top of that pigskin.
Don't need to be a hero when the ball's laying on the ground down there. So that is a live ball. If Arizona were to fall on it, it's a touchdown for the Rattlers. So Conley doing the wise thing, just falling on it.
I mentioned to begin this game that Iowa and Arizona, the only 2 remaining undefeated teams in the league. That's because New England, the Seawolves, got blown out last night, and Cecil Doggett comes up with interception number 3 of the season. Give some credit to the pressure applied on Aaron Garcia. That allowed Doggett to get an extra step and make the pick.
You don't have to get a sack, but if you can get into the lap of the quarterback like the Rattlers did there, that time it was Stacey Evans in his first action right on the arm as Garcia lets that ball go. Therefore, it's underthrown. Doggett has come underneath the route 3 times tonight. One of them went for a touchdown. One of them he knocked away. This one comes up with a huge interception with 3:15 left in the first half.
And remember, last year was Doggett's first full year of arena football. Bouncing around in the World League. Second go-through with the Rattlers as Davis steps up in the pocket, fires one to Hunky, who's tripped up, but we don't see any flags. No flags as John Fisher tripped Hunky inside the 5-yard line. And the fans are letting the Stripes know just how they feel.
I don't know that John Fisher did that intentionally. His legs just got caught up with Hunky Cooper right here at the very end. Both of them sprawling all over the turf. I think that was just a case of John Fisher's legs getting caught up. Had that little delayed clap. He looked for the flag. Okay, no flag. I can celebrate now.
2nd and 10 for Davis and the Rattlers offense. Eddie Goins on the swing. Davis goes down. A rare sack applied to the Rattlers. And it's Anthony Hutch, 3rd-year player out of Murray State, taking Donnie to the turf.
97, the Rattlers gave up 1 sack. 98, they gave up 1 sack. And now they've given up 1 sack in 1999. So no more this season, or they're going to go way over their average. Anthony Hutch, nice job coming up the middle, throwing Davis to the ground.
Tinker Ratliff, the new line coach for the Arizona Rattlers, and you talk about pressure. Here's a guy coming in that knows that the Rattlers never give up sacks, but most of that is not just due to the line, but to the release of Cedric Bonner over the years. He just was able to get rid of that ball when he was in trouble. Randy Gatewood, as a flag goes down.
I think they're going to get Joe Birch, who was out in the screen for a little bit of a block in the back.
It's usually not a good sign when the lineman is down on his knee. He's not injured, but he's just shaking his head, and that was Joe Birch.
Going back to the sack before, though, Donnie Davis didn't really have much of a chance to get out of the way of that one.
By the offense, number 75, that penalty is declined.
Good decline of the penalty by Iowa. Not much of a gain after 3rd and 20.
So Anthony Brenner will come on for a long field goal attempt. He already hit a 38-yarder.
You know, you almost don't feel as guilty if you were the one who committed the foul and then they decline it. It's almost like redemption. Like, hey, you know what? They didn't accept it, so it didn't hurt us.
This will be a 45-yard attempt by Brenner. Again, just called in this week to spell Kyle Pooler, and it's Anthony Brenner up from 45 yards, wide left, and Conley takes it off the net. Conley taken down by Jason Pahopek, touchback in the end zone.
Flag down on the return.
The officials still talking this one over. And Darren Kenny making the preliminary signal that it's holding against Iowa, and there it is.
Back him up another 2.5 yards.
So instead of the 5, it will be the 2.5 yard line.
It was a hold by the return team. It's penalized half the distance. It's first down. Those 1-minute timing rules are now in effect. Arizona has 2 timeouts remaining. Iowa has all 3.
1 minute time remaining as the referee wraps up his thesis on the 1-minute timing. But that means that any incomplete pass or player going out of bounds will now stop the clock.
Carlos James in motion, but it goes short to Swain, and it bounces off the turf, incomplete. 53 seconds, again, as we were told. The clock will stop now on the incompleted pass. Garcia takes the play from John Gregory, and Doug Kay sets his defense here in the final minute.
Calls his defense and then says, would you like to supersize that order? I wonder if it sounds the same as one of those fast food speakers.
Doggett, Gatewood, and Cedric Walker back defensively, and it's a duck high in the air and goes incomplete. That is one of the uglier passes you will see. Aaron Garcia went down in the end zone. Swain and Randy Gatewood had the jump ball at about the 10-yard line. Stacey Evans, again, applying the pressure.
Randy Gatewood gets turned around a little bit, but the rush by the Rattlers up front, Stacey Evans and Tony Henderson converging on Aaron Garcia. Again, he couldn't get a lot of arm on that ball, allowing Gatewood to come underneath and knock that thing away from Swain.
3rd and 10. Now for Iowa. The Rattlers would love to get their hands on the ball to end the first half. Incomplete. That was an uncatchable ball. Boy, Cedric Walker and Carlos James both went for it, and now it will be 4th and 10 for Iowa from their own 2.5 yard line. So their offense really struggled on that possession, trying to make something happen in the final minute of the first half.
You know, I really didn't like the decisions by Garcia going deep twice in a row. I just don't think you have to do that. You had plenty of time, all 3 timeouts. The clock's going to stop anytime they go out of bounds. Gregory showing his displeasure. Now you are really backed up, and this kick, if it's blocked, a lot of bad things can happen for Iowa at this stage.
This will be a 61-yard attempt, and it goes right into the back of a Rattler. The ball is loose at the 5, picked up by Gatewood, and the Rattlers take it into the end zone for 6. The Iowa Barnstormers have imploded here to end the first half.
And Gregory, John Gregory, is beside himself, and should be. Really horrible decision-making by his Iowa team.
Look at him. He's kicking the board, beating it up.
Hey, easy on the boards, Coach.
Opstad is having one of the worst nights you'll ever see a kicker have here.
Yeah, but there was good pressure up the middle by the Rattlers. Gatewood given a gift by some big guy up front from the Rattlers who got a big hand up and knocked that down. But just horrible decision-making by Iowa.
Brenner, 4 of 4. Point after. Lennar Holmes, another $25 to Rattler Charities. And Arizona has jumped out on top 31-19. Opstad only gets it about 2 feet off the ground on the kick, and Randy Gatewood walks it in for 6. Rattlers on top with 33 seconds to go here until the half.
Uh-oh, here comes the skipper. Looks like there's going to be some fireworks. works now.
What are you doing tonight?
Helen and I don't have any plans.
Great! Smokey and his wife are coming to my house for dinner. Would you like to join us?
That'd be great!
Great! If I can beat the traffic, I'll pick up some Bud Light!
Bud Light! Looks like you're out of here!
I'll see you and the wife tonight!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
You have a beautiful home here!
Well, thank you very much!
Let's see exactly what happened on that kick by Opstead, who may not be kicking much longer for Iowa.
Tony Anderson gets up the middle, and although he had the arm stretched out, it hit him right in the midsection. He's going to have a bruise on his stomach from that ball.
He's going to have a bruise on his stomach, and his head coach, John Gregory.
You know, at that point, if you're the kicker, your only concern is getting the kickoff. I mean, you're kicking a 50-plus yard field goal that's trying to get through 9-foot uprights. Really, you just want to get it down, and it turns into a punt. But Opstead really struggled getting that ball off.
And that hurts for the Rattlers. Anthony Brenner trying a squib kick, and it goes into the crowd. So that is a penalty against the Rattlers, and Iowa, with 33 seconds, will have excellent field position at the 20-yard line.
And you get no grace period, Tom. It doesn't matter if they signed you yesterday. You can't make mistakes like that. I don't care if you've been selling furniture in North Carolina, Orlando, wherever. You don't get a grace period with Danny White.
But it's how you handle it. At least Danny's not punching the boards over there.
Well, Brenner still remembers his time here in '97. He just walked right by him and kept going. You don't stop and chat.
Conley in motion. He goes to Carlos James, one-handed along the sidelines. What a tremendous catch. Carlos James of the Barnstormers. He went airborne and brought it down with one hand.
Cedric Walker with good coverage. And you are allowed to run into the boards. The boards are alive with the ball on the sideline, and they added that rule. Oh, actually, he ran into Cedric Walker. That kept him in bounds, but the ball comes off that wall. It is live on the first bounce. It's one way they've tried to liven up this game, like it needed it.
Carlos James, Mr. Ironman for this team. You see his numbers for the first two games. Led the team in interceptions last season. He was second on the team in tackles and touchdowns. So he does a little bit of everything, and that catch, one-handed, has set up Iowa at the 12-yard line with 27 seconds to go until the half, and they are trailing the Rattlers by 12.
I've got a hunch. I have a feeling that no matter what happens, Gregory won't try another field goal before the end of the half. It's just a guess on my part.
I don't think the padding could stand it.
Thank goodness the Coyotes are done playing, because the boards would need to be reworked after Gregory leaves.
Hey, it's that fire, though, that has landed his team in the Arena Bowl twice in their first 4 years, a trip to the semifinals. He coached in Canadian Football League for 12 seasons and is in this league a two-time Coach of the Year in Arena Football. So here's a man with some credentials and
won a Grey Cup as the head coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders back in 1988. Knows a little bit about the passing game. CFL, a lot like the Arena League, a passing league.
First and 10, and it's James in motion. Garcia looking right at James, throws a floater into the end zone, touchdown Iowa. Again, it is not pretty when Garcia releases it, but he usually finds his target. He had missed on 6 of his previous 7 attempts, but then completes 2 in a row to Carlos James, and Iowa has now pulled to within 6, and they will go for the 2-point conversion. Shocking, but Gregory has not brought out his place kicker.
He's seen a blocked field goal and 2 missed PATs. He's going to go for 2. That time, Carlos James runs right into Cedric Walker, busts out to his left. It was a floater by Aaron Garcia, but a great route by Carlos James to get a little separation from Cedric.
Hey, Carlos James deserved that touchdown after making that one-handed grab along the sidelines. If there's an opponent who deserves 6 at that point, it was James for putting in position to score the touchdown here. 21 seconds to go until the half. And the teams, again, 10-0 Rattlers after the first quarter, and they have opened it up in the second period. There is nothing like watching the Rattlers here at the America West Arena, and they're back home. It'll either be May 28th or the 29th when they host the Houston Thunder Bears. First 2,500 fans will receive a stress football from the Arizona Department of Health Services. And don't forget, pregame party right across the street at Jackson's on 3rd.
Why don't they just play the game twice? Just play it on the 28th and the 29th.
I think they're waiting for playoff action.
Doubleheader.
Yeah, before it was the Coyotes here with the ice and the NHL playoffs, but now the Suns in the playoffs, and they just have to wait for the NBA to schedule things. But yeah, why don't you try and propose that to the players?
2 for the price of 1.
I don't think it goes over real well with them.
Fires, huh?
2-point attempt into the back of the end zone. Conley reels it in. So it's an 8-point possession by Iowa. They've pulled within 4 of Arizona. 21 seconds to go. Back of the end zone, Leonard Conley taking the Garcia floater again.
Garcia throwing off the back foot there, was kind of on a semi-roll. Conley does a nice job going up, catching the ball at the height of his jump because Cecil Doggett was right there with him. And Conley was able to snatch it out of the hand of Cecil Doggett. A nice play by Conley.
The veteran of arena football, Leonard Conley, 7th season of arena football, coming out of the University of Miami, the former Cane. And you love those helmets too, don't you?
I think that Iowa might have the best uniforms in all of professional sports. The colors, they have the Barnstormer goggles, they have the wings. On the side of the pants, you have the propeller for the stripe. Just a lot of good thought went into that. And the colors, I think they're gorgeous. I really like those unis.
Top in professional sports. So maybe
that's where
college football, you got to go with the Wolverines.
You and I had that discussion.
Some of the best helmets, but you're right. That is a great look. I remember when they came out, too, the first season, and it took a while to figure out. I thought it was the eyes of a bird on there, and not until you get up close and actually see they are the goggles, and then everything falls into place.
But just such good marketing, you know, they based the name on the history of Iowa as a state. It was just a really good idea.
And they have really been taken in by the hometown fans back in Iowa as Hunky Cooper takes it off the soft net. Hunky down to the 5-yard line with 18 seconds to go here until the half. But Iowa is a team that has been, I guess, revered almost as much as the Rattlers here in Phoenix, and that's what Aaron Garcia was talking about. He's kind of been in a couple of cities, Connecticut and New Jersey, that hasn't supported their teams. He loves playing in Iowa, and these Barnstormers play in a small arena.
Yeah, it's called the Barn, where they play. I've done a game there, and it's a wild atmosphere just like here in America West Arena, but they soak it up. You know, in towns like that, that's all they have for those people this time of year to go and watch, and they really soak it up.
Yeah, these are probably 2 of the most solidly supported teams as Danny White is over there giving an earful to Donnie Davis.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Okay. My bad.
Well, it's probably a good thing that we got in late on that conversation.
We caught the tail end of my bad because Danny White not happy. Danny White not happy at all that Donnie Davis had to burn a timeout. That takes 1 timeout off the board, so Arizona only left with 1 with 18 seconds left.
Call the play. Call the play.
Donnie just wants to play. He's heard enough criticism.
He wants to get back to the huddle. Okay, Coach, call the play so I can get out of your face, please.
Well, Danny White, all you need to do is look at his body language. He has high expectations for his team. He had it for himself. Sports Illustrated voting Danny the 2nd best all-time quarterback in college football, second only to Steve Young. And, of course, he went on to have that great career with the Dallas Cowboys, 5 playoffs, 3 NFC East titles, still holds 22 records with the Cowboys, Danny White, and he expects the same from his quarterbacks, especially when it comes to the mental part of the game. 18 seconds to go here until the half. Rattlers holding a tenuous 4-point lead on the Barnstormers. Davis in trouble. Gets it over to Bo Kelly. Kelly had plenty of room right. Instead, he went right at Gary Howe. And how can you miss Gary Howe? The guy goes 300 plus. He had all sorts of real estate down the right sideline.
That's confusing to me.
And there's Danny saying, what were you thinking?
You had Darren Kenny and you had Tony Henderson out to the right side. They do the roll out to the left so Donnie can now throw it back to Bo. And he runs right back to the middle of the field. Tony Henderson's there, Darren Kenny further down. I just throw up my hand. I don't understand that. What was Bo looking at?
Gary Howe, all 320 pounds of him. I think Bo just wanted to see if he could knock him over. Former Buffalo.
And 6'1" is stretching it just a tad for Gary.
that 320 pounds is going on a smaller frame. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I played against Gary when he was at the University of Colorado and when he played 2 years with the Steelers.
Let's go. Right, wide back, 59 X post. On one. Ready?
5 seconds to go here.
See if we can't go for a little deep ball with the X post route.
You might as well throw it up there and see what happens. This will be the final play of the first half. Davis going for it all. He's got Oliver down the sidelines, but it goes incomplete as Oliver takes off a couple of those cushions there along the sidelines. Rattlers tried to knock on an extra 6 here to end the first half. Instead, it's Iowa with the momentum heading to the half. They do trail the Rattlers 31-27 here at the half. Hunky Cooper heads to the locker room along with Leonard Conley and the Iowa Barnstormers. We have our Rattlers tale coming up. Our own Rattler reporter, wide receiver Eddie Goins, goes up close and personal with Rattlers starting quarterback Donnie Davis. That and our kid correspondent and the first half highlights all coming up in our halftime show.
Quick and easy meals begin in the produce department of your neighborhood Fry's. You know, farm fresh vegetables like beans, peas, zucchini, and squash are now in season. This week with my VIP card, I saved on fresh corn. And whether you boil them, pop them in the microwave, or roast them on the grill, they're delicious. Fresh corn on the cob. It's the perfect touch for a quick and easy meal from Fry's.
There's not a store today that can take me away from my Fry's.
During Dodge Adventure 99, America's best-selling, most innovative minivan now comes with a $1,000 cash allowance. Or you can choose a vacation package worth up to $1,800 at the new Universal Studios Islands of Adventure theme park in Orlando, Florida. Or a vacation package at Universal Studios Hollywood. It's the adventure of a lifetime, and we have the rides to prove it. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Till Tuesday at the Room Store, get super savings on living rooms, including leather and reclining, bedrooms and dining rooms, including Bassett, and a great selection of Sealy and Simmons mattress and box spring sets. And don't pay till May 2000. No money down, no interest, and no payments. Get super savings on this contemporary sofa, only $327. This casual sofa, only $387. This plush designer sofa, only $487. Or this luxurious Southwest sofa, only $587. Don't miss super savings till Tuesday. Get no money down, no interest, no payments till May 2000, only at the Room Store.
At the Room Store.
Did you start a business today? What if you did? How can Bank of America help you succeed? Bank of America, put your future in motion. What did your money do today? At today's closing bell, over 480 million shares changed hands. Did your money play a part? Bank of America, put your money in motion.
The WB61 Rattler's Tale with Eddie Goins.
Donnie Davis has waited for his chance. For the past couple of years, Donnie has been biding his time playing backup to former Rattler standout Shedrick Bonner, who now calls the NFL his home playing for the Atlanta Falcons. Rattler fans remember 1997. Donnie stepped in for an injured Shedrick Bonner. He not only filled in for their field general, he led the Rattlers to their second Arena Bowl title and was named the game's MVP.
They know when it comes down to it, if anything, I have the ability to win a game or two for us, and that's really important to have your teammates on your side.
It's 1999 and Donnie Davis's turn to lead the Rattlers on the field. But with Bonner's departure comes Chad May's arrival and a new challenge for Donnie.
And I'm not in here competing against anyone in particular. I'm trying to make Donnie better. You know, I don't care what anybody else does, what they say, or how they say it. You know, I'm here to work on my game and help the team get better. Everything else will fall into place from there.
May is competing with Donnie for the starting job. So is Donnie ready to meet the challenges of being the Rattlers leader on the field?
It's a different thing to go out there and do it in practice, but to actually get into the fire and do it in the game, that's when it really counts.
Donnie has developed his game with the help and guidance from Coach Danny White, who wasn't too shabby back in the day.
He knows pretty much what a quarterback is thinking, how to get you out of a slump or a funk, you know, whatever. So playing for him is a great asset.
There's no question that Donnie is a great leader and a good quarterback. In fact, he'd be even better if he threw me the ball more. Donnie, I know that Shakes has been the go-to guy, league's leading receiver, but can I just get a few rocks this year?
Well, man, you know how we do it, man. It's got to be who over there. That's who's getting the rock. But I've been watching you in practice, man, sitting off in the cut, and you can get your share, man. You get your share.
Donnie and I have really clicked early on this season. Rattler fans can look forward to more of the same as the year goes on. That's your Rattler's tale. I'm Eddie Goins.
That's your WB61 Rattler's Tale with Eddie Goins.
Welcome to Cost Cutters. How can we make your hair look great today?
It's your look.
At Cost Cutters, the look you want is the look you'll get.
It's your look.
So visit Cost Cutters today and tell us, how can we make your hair look great? Cost Cutters, your look, your way.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Checker has the new Blue Coral self-wash power system that connects right to your garden hose and a complete line of top-quality Autolite remanufactured starters and alternators. More brands, more parts. Checker, the place to start for parts.
I just got one of those new websites.
You sell bait. Why do you need a website?
Well, it gives folks a chance to check out our different lures, flies, and tackle.
You still sell worms, don't you?
30 different kinds. You know, US West Decks built my website and then drives customers to it with a link from uswestdecks.com Internet Yellow Pages.
Nice boat. You just get it?
Yeah, pulled in some new business.
Now we have even more tools to build your business. US West Decks.
Hey!
Introducing chicken salad at Subway. Try our chicken salad sub. Tender all-white meat chicken salad with your choice of fresh veggies handmade right in front of you. Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Rattlers on top of the half, 31-27 over the Iowa Barnstormers. Tom Leander along with Ed Cunningham. Ed, in the first quarter, it was 10-0 Rattlers. Not a lot of offense. Second quarter, 48 points put on the board combined by the two teams. So we finally saw what arena football was all about.
Both teams struggled a little bit early in the first quarter. You know, their offenses were kind of sluggish. Both quarterbacks have really had some struggles. So the second half, you look at both of these quarterbacks. Donnie Davis had some struggles. I would suspect we're going to see Chad May in the second half. Aaron Garcia struggled a little bit. A lot of that had to do with the Arizona Rattlers finally getting a very good pass rush. They were in his face. That interception and a few other balls that he threw were because the rush was in his face and he couldn't get enough zip on the ball.
That's your Room Store quarterback comparison. They put it all together and save you more at the Room Store. Now, Gila River Casinos with our halftime stats. Gila River Casinos, Arizona's biggest and best.
Arizona Rattlers always known for a lot of offense. Do not adjust your set. They only have 85 yards of total offense in the first half, and 14 of those had to come running the ball. 6 possessions and only 3 touchdowns. That's a 50% success ratio. They need to be up around 80 or 90% for the Arizona Rattlers. That's not a very good half of offensive football for Arizona.
Well, we saw a lot of fireworks in the second quarter between the two teams. We also saw a couple of fiery coaches. John Gregory punching some pads. Danny White getting in the face of Donnie Davis. We'll see if Chad May is the Rattlers quarterback to begin the second half. We'll be back on the WB right after this.
Charlene, it's Tim McGraw. Just act natural.
Y'all got Bud Light?
Yeah, it's, over there. One's on bottom or colder.
The Bud Light Tim McGraw Tour, rolling into a town near you.
Here's your change. Oops.
During Adventure 99, Dodge will give you a great lease deal on a Dodge Ram. Or, if you buy a Dodge Dakota, get your choice of a $1,000 cash allowance. Or, a great vacation package worth up to $1,800 at the new Universal Studios Islands of Adventure theme park in Orlando, Florida. Or a vacation package at Universal Studios Hollywood. It's the adventure of a lifetime, and we have the rides to prove it. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Welcome to Cost Cutters. How can we make your hair look great today?
It's your look.
At Cost Cutters, the look you want is the look you'll get. So visit Cost Cutters today and tell us, how can we make your hair look great? Cost Cutters, your look, your way.
I quit smoking here, and it was supposed to last for the rest of my life. Turned out I needed a cigarette, blip, and blip, 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 blip. Yeah, I blew it. But I quit again. This time for a day, no blip, and another, until now I'm getting it. It's blipping amazing.
31-27 Rattlers at the halftime for the WB61. Fantastic plays of the first half. Rattlers again leading 10-0 after the first quarter, and then both teams' offense coming alive. Iowa and Aaron Garcia looking for Chris Spencer. Great hands.
Cecil Doggett gambled a little bit, went underneath him, and Spencer hauls it in over his shoulder.
Garcia with a solid first half. He did have that one interception picked off by Doggett. Here he's looking for Carlos James.
James got a little separation on Cedric Walker. Finishes it with 6.
We had two great highlights by the Rattlers in the first half. Eddie Goins, 55 yards. This was the first.
He doesn't really look like a backup here, does he, Tom? He's the backup returner to Hunky Cooper. This time he takes it to the house.
And then Opstad having a little trouble with his altitude on the kick.
Tony Henderson, you always wonder why linemen have big bellies. It's because he blocked it there with his belly. You know, you got to have a little width in there to block those kicks.
Randy Gatewood had a touchdown reception, and he walked that one in for 6. Rattlers up by 4. Our kid correspondent right around the corner on the WB.
You want breaking news and big stories right now. 620 KTAR has Arizona's largest radio news team. KTAR reports news and information that affects all of us. We're the only live, local, 24-hour radio news source. If it's happening in the Valley, in the nation, in the world, we're on it. KTAR is the place to get the latest news. And you can talk about it. Immediate, interactive. News Radio 620 KTAR, the first name in news.
Finding the right home is like finding the right quarterback. You look for the whole package, and that's what you get with Lennar. With a Lennar home, you begin with outstanding construction and exciting design. But then, Lennar provides these Value Plus included features. Your Lennar home comes with a Whirlpool washer, dryer, refrigerator, freezer, ceiling fans, garage door openers, and many more features that other builders may call options. Your choice of Lennar locations is in the home section of Saturday's Republic.
During Adventure 99, buy a Dodge Stratus and you'll get your choice of a $1,500 cash allowance or a vacation package worth up to $1,800 at the new Universal Studios Islands of Adventure theme park in Orlando, Florida, or a vacation package at Universal Studios Hollywood. It's the adventure of a lifetime, and we have the rides to prove it. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
I quit smoking here, and it was supposed to last for the rest of my life. Turned out I needed a cigarette, blip, and blip, 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 blip. Yeah, I blew it. But I quit again. This time for a day, no blip, and another, until now I'm getting it. It's blipping amazing.
The WB61 Kids Correspondent. Brought to you by the Arizona Tobacco Education Prevention Program.
Hi, I'm Whitney from the WB61 Kids Club, and my question is for Donnie Davis. Donnie, now with Seth Bonner in the NFL, how much did playing in the Arena Bowl and leading the Rattlers to the championship help your confidence going into this season as the new starting quarterback?
Whitney, yeah, that was a great question. Playing in the Arena Bowl really did help out my confidence as far as coming in here and trying to follow up Cedric Bonner. Playing as much as I could before he left was a great deal, and it really helped me out as far as learning the league and learning how to play the game.
The WB61 Kids Correspondent, brought to you by the Arizona Tobacco Education Prevention Program.
Ed, that might be like the SI jinx. You do the interview, the kid correspondent with Donnie Davis, and it appears that Chad May is loosening up on the sidelines, and it remains to be seen if officially
loosen up after half.
He got out here pretty early. Calvin Schexnayder, maybe you can shed a little light on the situation. Are we going to see Chad May?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the situation is. I know, Donnie needs to complete some passes, and all the receivers need to get open, so you never know.
Calvin, from up here, it didn't look as if Donnie Davis was as comfortable in the pocket as he was in the first game. Is that what it looked like to you in that first half?
Well, really that was the case. Also, Iowa has a big line, and they are getting a good push on them. So both offenses on each side are, they're kind of slow. They're not reading, but they need some help, and he needs to pick it up.
How about you, Calvin? When we talked to you 2 weeks ago, we thought you might be out there tonight. Instead, you've had your second surgery to have that screw removed from your foot. What actually transpired over the last couple of weeks?
Well, actually, the screw came loose. There was no problem with the foot, no problem with me running. Just the screw came loose, and they wanted to take it out.
Calvin, are you sure that screw was in your foot?
Hey.
We always said you had a screw loose.
Some people question it. They thought it was in my head.
Hey, best of luck in your rehab. I know it sets you back, 3 to 5 or 4 to 6 weeks. We're hearing different things. I know you'll be out there as soon as you can.
3 to 5, but I'll be back.
All right.
I'll be back.
Best of luck, Calvin.
That's a cheap shot.
Oh, you got to have a little fun with the guy. You're not going to get him on the air and not tease him some.
Speaking of a screw loose, Gene Nudo getting ready to join us here at the booth.
The booth just got a lot uglier. Oh, hey, Gino, how are you, bud?
The kick goes out of the end zone for a touchback. But we will be joined here by Gene Nudo in a matter of moments. He'll be talking, among other things, about getting Anthony Brenner to replace Kyle Pooler, and that was a stroke of genius. I know Gino worked on that along with Doug Kay, who actually was a coach for Anthony Brenner back in Charlotte.
Now, Iowa, when they went at halftime, guarantee you they had a long talk with their offensive defensive linemen about the protection they've been giving Garcia. Garcia has been swamped all night by a very good pass rush by Arizona. They need to start giving Garcia more time.
First play of scrimmage for the second half, and it goes incomplete. Looking for Kevin Swain, and Swain was the leading target for Garcia with 5 receptions in the first half. 5 receptions and 2 touchdowns for Kevin Swain. Really nice grab, a ball that Muhammad Oliver thought he was going to take the other way for a touchdown. Swain reaches up and grabs it. Very good hands on Kevin Swain. 2nd and 10 now for Garcia with Conley in motion. Plenty of time this time for Garcia over the middle. Swain, incomplete, and it's Muhammad Oliver knocking it loose. That time Garcia was waiting for Conley to come open on the post pattern. Cecil Doggett had him covered the whole way, so he had to go to his secondary receiver, Carlos James. Just waited a little long, and Muhammad Oliver able to come over, close the distance, get that left hand up, and a nice job of knocking the ball out of Swain's hands. His technique and form really is something that you tend to point out quite a bit, too, for Oliver, and the timing on that play was impeccable. So it's 3rd and 10 for Garcia and the Barnstormers from their own 5-yard line. Carlos James in motion. A floater over the middle, but overthrown. Kevin Swain barely got a mid on it, and it's 4th down now from the 5-yard line. Decision time for John Gregory. Does he dare bring Opstead out for the kick? There's one problem. There's no punters in the AFL, so he's got to do something on 4th and 10. That pains him. You can see the pain on his face. Yeah, but I guarantee you he told him, hey, look, I don't care if you make the kick. Just get it out of there. Turn this into a punt. We'll call it 60 yards from his own end zone. Last time he tried this, it was blocked and turned into 6 for the Rattlers. This time he gets a little more air under it and goes right into the arms of Hunky Cooper. Cooper, plenty of room. Cooper still up. Cooper looking for 6. Hunky to the 5 and takes him in to the end zone for a touchdown. He carried Opstead into the end zone and just barely broke the plane. Arizona up on top now by 10, and both long field goal attempts by Iowa have resulted in Arizona touchdowns. touchdowns. That's why John Gregory did not want to be forced into that situation.
Wham! Oscar Sturgis absolutely laid out Larry Blue, and that put Hunky Cooper one-on-one on Opstead. And there's that strength of Hunky Cooper. Again, not the fastest guy in the Arena League, but has great strength in his lower body and drags. And that's not a small man. No. Opstead goes 6'2", 228, and Hunky drug him 3 yards into the end zone.
He just barely did get in. That was a hefty load by Hunky. Second return this season for a touchdown. He had one against Jersey, and he said, hey, Eddie Goins got nothing on me.
Let's take another look at this great hit. It's going to be on the top part of your screen, right there.
Wow.
Just saw the tail end of it, but that's about all you had to see. Gary Howe, offensive defensive lineman for Iowa.
There was a great collision.
They're cleaning up. But watch number 3, and Oscar Sturgis.
Oh, airborne.
Oh, right in the chops. And don't get confused, just because Larry Blue is wearing number 3, he's a lineman. He's 260 pounds.
How about the 320-pound Howe now headed for the locker room? That was a monster collision at about the 10-yard line.
Between him and Cedric Walker, and even though Walker looked like he took the worst of it, it's Gary Howe who's taking it to the locker room.
Walker is deep in the Rattler tunnel, but he is not headed for the locker room. Instead, the 320-pound Howe is. Brenner has been perfect so far and remains so, with another point after and another $25 headed to Rattler Charities. Courtesy Lennar Homes, we're back with Vice President Gene Nudo. Rattlers on top by 11.
Quick and easy meals begin at your neighborhood Fry's. This week with my VIP card, I saved on all kinds of fresh vegetables for a truly great garden salad. Today I'm using iceberg and romaine lettuce, some fresh tomatoes, some sliced cucumbers and chopped mushrooms, and green onions. And you've got a quick and easy summertime meal from Fry's.
There's not a store today that can take me away from my Fry's.
During Adventure 99, buy a Dodge Intrepid, and Dodge will give you your choice of $1,000 cash allowance or a super vacation package worth up to $1,800 at the new Universal Studios Islands of Adventure theme park in Orlando, Florida. Or a vacation package at Universal Studios Hollywood. It's the adventure of a lifetime, and we have the rides to prove it. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Back here at the America West Arena, Rattlers on top 38-27 with Dan Deerdorf, Boomer Esiason, and Al Michaels. It feels like the three-man booth on ABC, but it's Gene Nudo in betwixt.
Can he be Dan Deerdorf? No, I don't want to be.
You got to go with the lineman.
I got to be Boomer.
No, this guy looks like Boomer, the good blonde.
How much of this you guys expect me to take?
Not much.
Gino, we saw Donnie Davis struggle a little bit in the first half. We haven't really been forced into a decision yet here in the second half. Hunky Cooper took care of that, but what's going to happen here in the second half quarterback-wise?
Well, going into that first game, Danny thought that he would play both of them, and Donnie had a spectacular game. Obviously, it wasn't a great first half for him. Maybe Danny will make a move.
How about the stroke of genius, getting Anthony Brenner in here, too? Boy, you must feel awfully good about your kicking duties here tonight with him coming back. And nice little patchwork job by you and Doug Kay.
Well, Doug Kay did a great job, and he stayed after Anthony all this time, and obviously it's worked well. To this point, he's had a good ball game for us.
Gino, you made an interesting comment to me this week. Without Calvin Schexnayder, without Cedric Bonner, you still feel this team of the Arizona Rattlers is deeper and more talented than the previous team.
And I am so excited about this team. You guys have no idea. When we get Calvin back, it's just going to be another feather in our cap. You know, Eddie Goins has not gotten his speed back yet, but still he's making things happen. He's a good football player. And I mean, here's another
play. It's loose, and it's into the hands of Doggett down at the 1-yard line. Leonard Conley could not corral the kickoff, and Cecil Doggett rolls on it at the 1. All we're missing is the dog walk, but he's got to take it in for 6 to get that.
Ball comes off awfully hot, and Conley can just not get a handle on it. The ball is live when it comes off that net. Just comes off on a weird bounce. I thought maybe it hit the stands behind the net, which would have made it a dead ball, but it didn't hit. It hit well below those. Just came off way too hot for Connolly, and Cecil Doggett, great heads-up play getting that ball off the turf.
And here comes Chad May in at quarterback, his first regular season snap for the Arizona Rattlers as they take over at the 3-yard line. Pitch to Hunky, and Hunky is stopped at the 1.
Gino, you've got to be happy. You know, one of the things that the Rattlers struggled with in the first game against New Jersey was getting a pass rush. That has not been the problem tonight. I mean, Sturgis, Stacey Evans, those guys are really getting after the quarterback. You knew those guys could do that, though.
Yeah, we were excited about it. Calvin Ingram, who's not playing tonight, is going to be one more big part of that pass rush. Unfortunately, I think Stacey's strained a hamstring. I don't know if he's going to be back in the second half.
Oh, that's a shame. But, you know, one thing Danny White has always kind of concentrated on is really bringing offensive linemen and training them to play defense. You got quite a few defensive linemen on the squad, though.
Chad May now behind center from the 1, gives it to Bob McMillan. 6 more for the Rattlers. So we can see why you're so excited about this Rattlers team. It was a little quiet in the first quarter, 10-0, but since then they have really opened things up. From all ends, it's not just offensively, special teams and defense.
The straight-ahead dive play. The linebacker was Bobby Jurison coming up the middle. Bob McMillan goes right over the top for 6.
Number 3, Donnie Davis, taking number 23, Anthony Brenner.
Rattlers have stretched their lead to 44-27. Brenner to make it 45. Give it to him. 10-12 to go here in the third quarter, and the Rattlers have sprinted out of the gates to begin the second half. They lead Iowa 45-27. Back with more.
Welcome to Cost Cutters. How can we make your hair look great today?
Is your look?
At Cost Cutters, the look you want is the look you'll get. So visit Cost Cutters today and tell us, how can we make your hair look great? Cost Cutters, your look, your way.
My idea? I want to go to prom with the idea box.
What's up, prom? I am going to bust a move.
Oh, no.
Where's the party? Heads up, coming through. Gotta save prom. Party time.
Put a party in your car. Rockford Fosgate, now at Best Buy. Now that's a great idea.
14 unanswered points by the Arizona Rattlers to kick off the second half. Let's check out the Checker Auto Parts throw-to, guys. Checker, the place to start. 4 parts, and Randy Gatewood has been a main target.
That's $1 million smile.
Look at that. He can light it up.
I'm on TV, man.
4 catches. Eddie Goins has a couple. And those were coming from Donnie Davis, but now it will be Chad May throwing to those go-to guys.
Really, though, there hasn't been much throwing to guys. It's been the special teams. Yeah. Eddie Goins with a kickoff return, and Hunky Cooper with the missed field goal return.
Does that take a little pressure off Giannudo, Chad May, now that he comes in and now all of a sudden it goes from a 4-point game to a 45-27 ball game?
I tell you, pressure doesn't affect this kid. I mean, he's a tough, spit-in-your-eye kind of guy, you know. I want to see him perform. That's the key thing.
Breaking out late from the kick as the Rattlers try a quick little squib, and here comes Leonard Conley, and he's taken down by number 90, Oscar Sturgis, and Sturgis was in the back of the end zone. I don't think he knew that the Rattlers were going to break out of the end zone. He was actually waiting to line up along the end line, but he made the tackle.
Hey, guys, you got to tell me when you're going to do that. Good return by Conley, though. The Rattlers were the ones that almost looked like they were caught off guard by what they tried. Almost gets it back out to midfield.
Yeah, normally you're going to see Sturgis at about the 5-yard line. There he was at midfield and did make the play.
See, that's what happens when the ball doesn't get to the net on the kickoff.
Right.
You get a big return
messes
like
up
that.
all the time. Fire that guy, would you, Brenner?
Pass complete to Conley, tiptoeing the sidelines, and he'll be marked out at the 14-yard line. So the Barnstormers have a little bit of work to do.
Excuse me, Tom. Going back to talking about the linemen, was that something you guys worked on this year, was bringing in some more defensive-minded guys as opposed to offensive-type guys?
We felt like we had good cover people, but our cover people weren't being helped by the pass rush. Obviously, it works hand in hand. And having Oscar and bringing Matt Eller back, we got some taller people.
Sturgis and Eller both in there on the defensive front as Garcia throws one away into the back of the end zone, desperately trying to track it down with Cedric Walker.
That's the one thing we talk about quite a bit is you don't always have to get the sacks. But we saw in the first half, Garcia just had guys in his face, had a couple balls batted down. We'll take a look at the pressure here that makes Garcia move out of the pocket. Really relentless pass rush up front. He has to throw it off the back foot and almost gives Cedric Walker a chance to get in for the interception.
It's such a three-step cut league. If you get your hands up with tall people, make them throw through the trees.
It was Stacey Evans a couple of times in the first half applying the pressure too in his first game as a Rattler, and flags all over the place. 8:38 to go here in the third quarter.
Matt Eller signed last week to come in, one of the trees that we're talking about. He's actually kind of a little guy, 6'6", 280.
Yeah, it looks like one of my trees.
Attack in the neutral zone by the defense, number 79. 3-yard penalty, still second down.
Here's another guy, though, I'm sure you can add a little to the story of Matt Eller, who's back home in Iowa and has to decide whether or not he wants to continue playing arena football, and somehow does get talked or coerced into coming back.
Well, we talked to him, but I'll tell you what he decided to do. He's in business for himself. He moved his whole business to Arizona now, and he's permanently going to live here.
Wow. It's quite a commitment to the team.
Conley on the fly. Garcia rolling to his right. Garcia has lots of room. Puts his head down in against the boards. And it's a first down for Garcia and the Barnstormers, but that's the type of hard-nosed competitor Danny White talked about. Aaron Garcia, the former Rattler quarterback, coming back here to the America West Arena, and he was the team's leading rusher last year with 112 yards on the ground.
But there's another tough guy chasing him, and that's Hunky Cooper. Added defense to his repertoire a couple years ago, and Hunky really roams the field well as a linebacker.
I'm very proud of the fact that we brought Aaron into this league, and Aaron's proven to be a very good quarterback in the Arena League.
Oh, he's had success everywhere he's been.
3 rushing touchdowns. Former Washington State player, the handoff, and denied is Iowa's John Moten.
Darren Kenny and Bo Kelly stood him up right at the goal line. Very close to getting it in, but a good job by the Rattler defense. When you've got just a fullback, there's no lead back. Give that all to Bo Kelly. What a nice job by Bo Kelly. Got up under the pads of Moten, rolled his hips, and denied him 6 points.
Garcia this time takes it straight up the gut himself for 6. 4th rushing touchdown of the season for Aaron Garcia. They tried Moten and went back to Aaron Garcia, their starting quarterback. So after watching the Rattlers score 14 unanswered, Iowa puts their first points on the board here in the second half with 6:38 to go.
Gino, talk a little bit about the state of the league. New team came in this year, Buffalo. Expansion teams in Los Angeles and New Orleans probably next season. Where do things stand right now?
Well, New Orleans is going to play in 2001, but it looks like Philadelphia is going to have a group, Chicago is going to have a group. We could be in all the major markets across the country as soon as next season.
Wow, that's huge for this. And also, the NFL making the rule change where their owners can cross ownership now. That's got to be huge for you guys as well.
It is.
Garcia for the 2-point conversion. Throws it incomplete back to the end zone into the front row. It's a souvenir. And the Rattlers' lead is 12. 6:08 to go here in the third quarter, and Iowa putting their first touchdown on the board in the second half to close the gap with the Rattlers. We will take a break and return from the America West Arena right after this on the WB.
Till Tuesday at the Room Store, get super savings on living rooms, including leather and reclining, bedrooms and dining rooms, including Bassett, and a great selection of Sealy and Simmons mattress and box spring sets. And don't pay till May 2000. No money down, no interest, and no payments. Save on this 7-piece living room with sofa, love seat, cocktail table, 2 end tables, and 2 lamps, only $7.97. This casual 7-piece living room, only $9.97. Or this designer 7-piece living room, only $14.97. Don't miss super savings till Tuesday. Get no money down, no interest, no payments till May 2000, only at the Room Store.
At the Room Store.
You see the slow first quarter, and since then, both teams really picking it up, but the Rattlers, with those two big plays here to begin the second half, and they will take possession of the ball, leading by 12. Again, joined here by Vice President Gene Nudo up in the booth.
It's got to be nice, Gene, to see that, you know, the offense isn't exactly clicking, but guys like Hunky Cooper and Eddie Goins have picked it up on other parts of the field. I mean, that's probably what makes you so excited about this team.
We're a team. You know, we're not just an offense, we're not just a defense, we're a team. I'm excited right now to see Chad matriculate the ball down the field now. Let's see what he can do.
Matriculate?
Sure. Scramble.
Sure.
There's Hunky. He knows where to field that. Deep in his end zone. And down he goes. Moten with the stop. And the Rattlers will begin action. Chad May at quarterback from the 17-yard line.
You can use all the Hank Stram-isms you want. Just don't get a hairpiece like this, okay? Once again, Hunky Cooper shows how dangerous he can be. Not a whole lot there. Gets into traffic. Just always getting positive yardage. Have you noticed with Hunky, maybe it's just me, but he looks like he's as quick as he's ever been.
He's faster this year. He's taken down about 12 pounds, and it's helped him enormously. He's much more fit this year.
Into that Tybo, it seems to be the new craze.
Him and Billy Blanks.
In motion is Goins. Chad May, top collegiate quarterback back in 1994, and he completes it to Randy Gatewood. Gatewood still on his feet. Gatewood to the zone. Touchdown, Rattlers.
See, that's matriculating the ball.
They graduated right to a touchdown. All right, now let's not all jump on the Chad May bandwagon. Gino and I could have thrown that ball over to Randy.
Through a lateral.
And that's all you need to do. Just give these guys some room to maneuver.
Again, we've seen the fullback screen. We've seen the tight end screen. Now it's the flanker screen. Great blocking downfield, but better vision by Randy Gatewood. He delayed enough to let the blockers get out in front of him. Cut back to the middle of the field for 6.
Brenner still has not missed on his point afters. Another $25 to the Rattler Charities, courtesy Lennar Homes. Randy Gatewood now with 5 receptions, 2 of those going for 6. And Arizona extending their lead, 52-33, here from the Purple Palace.
On the next Pensacola Wings of Gold.
1 minute you're going to marry my dad, and then the next minute you come out here, and I just need a little time to get used to it.
Well, maybe this is going to help, okay?
Things are heating up a little for Spoon.
But you're going to get burned.
Well, so are you.
And a surprise visit.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, but it's pretty obvious what's going on. I mean, she must be some girl.
Could cause him to crash and burn.
You spying on us?
On the next Pensacola Wings of Gold.
Tonight at 9:30 on WB61 and Cox Cable Channel 6.
Your Arizona Rattlers back at the America West Arena. It will either be Friday, May 28th, or Saturday, the 29th, as they will host the Houston Thunder Bears at 7 p.m. For tickets, call the Rattlers, 514-TD, or you can call Dillard's, 503-5555. First 2,500 fans receive a stress football from the Arizona Department of Health Services, and also there will be a pregame party. Stop by at Jackson's on 3rd. There's nothing like experiencing the Rattlers in person. It's pretty darn good on the WB. And our thanks to Vice President of the Rattlers, Gene Nudo, for joining us here in the booth. Always entertaining and always full of information. Kevin Swain fumbled it and taken down there on the stop. Jai Hill, number 21 of the Rattlers, seeing his first action. Former member of Anaheim in the Arena Football League. He did not play last year. Sat out to earn his teaching degree.
Boy, Iowa really struggling with taking the ball off the net. We saw one go over Connolly's head. That time, Kevin Swain just having trouble reading it. A good kick by Brenner, though. Got it far over into the corner. Came out kind of funny, but Garcia and his mates really have to get something going here. This game's going to get out of hand.
Garcia. Joe Birch tries to trip him. Garcia gets away and is rammed into the boards by Jai Hill. Rattlers and Hunky Cooper specified Jai Hill as being one of those players that they brought in, a tremendous role player, a lot of athletic ability, who sits out a season but comes back in tip-top shape and can really add to that linebacker core.
And he's a big guy. You know, a lot of the guys who play wide receiver / linebacker are kind of undersized. Jai Hill goes 6'3", 210 pounds. So he almost has perfect linebacker size as well as good speed to run when a guy like Garcia gets loose.
Linebacker now, but he was the Hoosiers' all-time leading receiver at Indiana. Kevin Swain takes it in for the touchdown. Aaron Garcia led him into the back of the end zone, and Kevin Swain literally just ran that thing down.
Garcia, again, not able to get a lot of mustard on the ball. Joe Birch is all over him as he releases the ball. You can see how he's throwing it as he's falling backwards. And here comes another duck from Garcia. You got to give him credit, though. Got plenty of air under it. And Kevin Swain, once again, shows has a fantastic set of hands. Brought that in with his fingertips.
Kevin Swain, second season of arena football. He was on the all-rookie team last year, and you can see why with that athleticism and tremendous hands to bring it in the back of the end zone. Once again, Iowa trailing by 13 will go for the two-point conversion. Garcia rolls to his right, flag in the back of the end zone. Flag in the back of the end zone. There were 3 Rattler defenders strapped onto the back of Kevin Swain.
Yeah, Randy Gatewood. Little option route. We've seen the Rattlers run it twice to success tonight.
Interference, defense. Number 17, both flags for the same foul. Half the distance, retry.
Now, just because they threw 2 flags, they don't mark it off twice. They only get it once.
They just had they had a number of choices down there.
It was so obvious that Randy Gatewood got away with a hold, or was trying to get away with a hold, all over the back there of Kevin Swain. A good route by Swain, but once again, if you're the defensive back and you're beat, you might as well try something. Who knows? Maybe the refs will miss it, but it's better than just giving up the easy 2 points.
So they'll move it up to the 1.5-yard line, and it's Chris Spencer in motion. Garcia again to his right, looking to run it, and taken down by Jason Bohopek, denying the 2-point attempt. So the Rattlers defense denies the 2-pointer. And Iowa, with 2:44 to go here in the third quarter, will have to settle for this beautiful touchdown reception by Kevin Swain.
On Walker, Texas Ranger.
There are no innocent men inside these walls.
Walker goes behind bars.
I hear you're king of the hill around here.
To keep a crime boss in for life.
Must be a dangerous profession with a man like you.
Only if you cross me.
Even if it means his own death sentence.
Wow, he's a cop. The last guy we sent in there got a screwdriver through his neck.
On the next Walker, Texas Ranger.
Tonight at 10:30 on WB61 and Cox Cable Channel 6.
Truly Nolan with our stinger of the game. Truly Nolan, your hometown exterminator. When we go back to that Hunky Cooper
Watch number 3. Watch number 3 right in the middle of your screen, framed up nicely for Oscar Sturgis to lay the knockout punch and spring Hunky Cooper for a touchdown on a missed field goal return. Great hit by Oscar Sturgis. Did you see how that Truly Nolan graphic just framed it perfect? It's almost like a spot shadow. It's almost like Dan Siekman, our director, planned that.
Our marketing department is loving Dan Siekman and the crew here on the WB. Scott Rogers, our producer, in the truck. As always, bringing you the pictures of Rattlers football. Eddie Goins now has taken one home for a touchdown already tonight. But this time he is stuck at the 10-yard line and making the drop there. Eric Golston, second-year player out of Ohio State. And Chad May, starting to talk about him, top collegiate quarterback back in 1994. He's a guy that got drafted in the NFL and even spent some time with the Rattlers, drafted originally
by Minnesota.
By the Vikings in '95, 4th-round pick. So then he went on to be signed by the Cardinals and played in the World League.
Was all Big 8 at Kansas State. He set 10 Big 8 records while he was there. Very productive career for the Wildcats.
Now, one thing he is not is mobile. Flags down, pass, and the pitch to Pahopek, and Howe losing his helmet. We already saw Gary Howe leave the field after the big collision. That was another stinger on that touchdown run by Hunky Cooper. Illegal procedure against the Rattlers.
Full toss play to Pahopek. Nobody able to get on the linebacker, Rodney Fowler. Very difficult. You know, there's only 3 blockers up front and 5 defenders, so very difficult to get onto those linebackers, and Fowler does a nice job running underneath to make the play.
Illegal formation by the offense, no tight end declared. That penalty is declined. Second down.
You know, in the first game we did, New Jersey, that was called twice, where the eligible offensive lineman, either guard, has to raise his hand and become the tight end. That's just a mental mistake, and those type things, as the season progresses, will really start to drive Danny White nuts. You just can't forget to do things like that.
Chad May out of Kansas State with 2nd and 8 for the Rattlers. Jai Hill in motion on the run, and he's looking deep for Eddie Goins. Overthrows Eddie, and his cover man, Mike Horacek.
Chad May getting his first action in the Arena League. You can practice all you want, but until you come out and you play in front of all the fans and live motion, guys are hitting and banging around. He got tackled that time, got hit, taken to the ground by Gary Howe after he threw it, but that time Goins and him just not quite on the same page. May take a few snaps for Chad to get settled down a little bit. And
we talk about contrasting styles. One thing Chad May is not is mobile. You have Donnie Davis, who loves to run the ball, but here's Chad May, a guy who actually set a record in the World League, being sacked 31 times. So not exactly nifty feet, but this time he's able to free himself and gets it to Eddie Goins. And Eddie Goins is inside the 5-yard line, but there is a flag down back near the line of scrimmage.
I would say that's getting settled down nicely. Great time by the offensive line for Chad May to set his feet and throw a nice ball downfield to Eddie.
And you're right, sometimes it's good not to have those happy feet. Just set them.
Illegal shift, 2 men removing at the snap. Penalties accepted, illegal formation.
Yeah, I didn't think they would decline that penalty. 2 men in motion at the same time. We couldn't see it on that screen there, but again, just, you know, listen, if you get called for the hold because a guy beat you, that's one thing. But to just make mental mistakes, especially after a nice play where Chad May gets it way down the field to Eddie Goins, you just can't continue to move backwards. The Rattlers have control of this game, but you cannot let up. As you know, we've done this game enough to know, Tom, a team like Iowa and a quarterback like Garcia, you can't continue to give them chances.
It was only the Rattlers' 2nd penalty of the night. This one overthrown for one intended target. Eddie Goins nearly grabbed the reception. The target was Randy Gatewood. 10 yards behind was Eddie Goins, and he nearly made the catch.
Eddie Goins, as you said, Tom, is not the intended receiver. Oh, he almost got that thing off the turf. Good call by the official, though. It did hit the ground on his first attempt at it. But good heads-up play by Goins. Was behind Gatewood. Saw that it was overthrown, put the brakes on, and almost snagged it.
So on comes Anthony Brenner. And time will run out, though, before he gets a chance to kick this field goal, as time has run out in the 3rd quarter. It was a productive one for the Arizona Rattlers. They led 31-27 at the half. Now on top, 52-39. 4th quarter from the America West. Coming your way on the WB right after this.
Introducing chicken salad at Subway. Try our chicken salad sub. Tender all-white meat chicken salad with your choice of fresh veggies handmade right in front of you. Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Are you sure that's the right number?
When you really need the right number, dial 411 from US West. One more reason life's better here.
Yes, Springfield, Illinois. I'd like a number to the Lincoln Museum, please.
For numbers coast to coast, dial 411.
And I need a Philadelphia number, too.
411 from US West. One more reason life's better here.
Bud Light, please. There you go.
Hey, aren't you,
Yeah, I am.
Hey, everybody! It's Faith Hill's husband.
She is so amazing. I would love to meet her.
Man, she's... Yeah, you and her, huh?
How's that working out?
Bud Light is proud to sponsor Faith Hill's husband.
Well, you know, I sing a little too.
Oh, bless your heart.
Did you start a business today? What if you did? How can Bank of America help you succeed? Bank of America, put your future in motion. What did your money do today? At today's closing bell, over 480 million shares changed hands. Did your money play a part? Bank of America, put your money in motion.
Ready for the fourth quarter as the Rattlers lead Iowa 52-39. Subway game summary. Subway the way the sandwich should be.
Arizona's offense has not really been spectacular, but what they have been spectacular on is special teams. He had a block kick by Tony Henderson that Randy Gatewood returned for a touchdown. Eddie Goings returns a kickoff for a touchdown, and then a long field goal miss by Iowa. Hunky Cooper takes it this distance. So 3 different Rattlers have returned 3 different kicks for touchdowns.
Randy Gatewood has 3 touchdowns on the night, as this will be a 55-yard attempt, but no, it's a fake. Donnie Davis looking for Brenner, who got taken down. Instead, he throws it to Mohamed Oliver. There is a flag down. Anthony Brenner shaken up. He looked to be the intended target for Davis, but he got pancaked, and Davis went instead to Oliver. But let's see what the flag's about.
Rattlers are celebrating like it's going to be holding, and it is against Iowa. What a gutsy call by Danny White.
Brenner is holding his neck.
Anthony Brenner is a very accurate kicker, but he is not great from long distance. In his career, he is only 1 of 34 outside of 45 yards. So, you know, I like the call by Danny. You know, the chances are it's just going to be a returned kick. So why not go for it? You got a little bit of a lead. You've got your starting quarterback in holding the kicks, holding for the kick. Very patient back there, no rush whatsoever from Iowa, and he's able to find Mohamed Oliver for the first down.
You couldn't see it there on the replay, but Brenner, again, that was the first target that Donnie Davis looked at, and he was just taken down and was no longer a target with his face staring straight at the turf. Eddie Goings with the reception on first down.
And here goes Danny White into his familiar offense where let the quarterback get a little confidence, throw a bunch of short stuff, start to get a little rhythm, and start to see if he can't air it out.
And let the clock run.
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea at this stage of the game.
Goins, no receiving touchdowns, but we did mention that kickoff return for the score. 55-yard run off the net. And May, 2 of 4 with the touchdown pass. To Randy Gatewood. Screen play. And it's first down yardage for Oscar Sturgis.
Oscar Sturgis getting himself involved in a bunch of different ways. Had that crushing block on Hunky Cooper's missed field goal return for the touchdown. This time a little tight end screen. Gary Howe right in the face of Chad May, able to get it off. Leonard Conley was on the scene trying to make the tackle on Sturgis right there. Darren Kenny got just enough of Leonard Conley to knock him off to pick up the first down for Arizona.
Sturgis at North Carolina actually played 2 years as a tight end and then switched over to defensive end. So he's used to catching those passes. May avoids the rush and gets rid of it, looking for Eddie Goins, but he did avoid the sack.
You know, one of the first things you notice when you watch Chad May and when you go to practice and watch him in warm-ups, he's a big guy, 240 pounds. And that time, Bobby Jurassic, number 31, is also 240 pounds, a former defensive end in the CFL. Jurassic had his second all-time in the CFL in sacks with 142 career sacks, but May able to fight him off and get rid of the ball. Wasn't exactly an accurate throw, but with a guy draped all over your lower body, what can you expect?
How about that, Jurassic? 12 years in the Canadian Football League and still going strong here in the AFL. May, quick drop to Hunky Cooper. Hunky, a couple of moves, and loses the ball at the 10-yard line. And they're going to give it to Iowa. Iowa comes up with a fumble recovery up along the sidelines.
Remember, when the ball bounces off of the wall, it is a live football. When Hunky Cooper gets hit, and that ball bounces out of there, if it hits the wall and comes back in the field of play, it's a live ball.
So with 12:15 to go here in the fourth quarter, the Rattlers and Hunky Cooper cough it over.
Actually, the ball never got out of bounds.
Looked like Leonard Conley was the one who jumped on it.
For Iowa.
So Garcia goes back to work to Kevin Swain, and he gets popped up against the boards.
And Bob McMillan gets a pop on Garcia. Garcia picking himself up off the turf after almost every attempt. This has been a display of pass rush by these Rattlers.
And Ed, you take a look at this shot too up along the board. You see the pressure on Garcia, but on the play itself, and it's just another example of how close the quarters are. The official there along the sideline trying to tiptoe out of bounds. And before this game, there was a moment of silence for Ed Manning, an Arena Football League veteran official of 13 years, as the pass goes incomplete. But Ed Manning was one of the officials last week for the Iowa-Orlando game, and he was caught in a little bit of crossfire down on the field and right now remains in critical condition in a hospital. And they did have a moment of silence for him. All the officials, all the players in the league, again, remembering and praying for Ed Manning.
By the offense, number 3, that penalty is declined. Third down.
But there's been talk then of giving these officials possibly some headgear, similar to what you see in hockey.
We've seen it several times in the games that we've done, Tom, where guys are backpedaling and just get caught up. We saw a guy fall onto his back and hit the back of his head about a year ago. Yeah, it's very dangerous for these guys because of the size of the field, and there's nowhere for them to go on the sidelines.
3rd and 9. Oh, and somehow Kevin Swain bobbled it and brought it in. Cecil Doggett was all over him, got his hand in. Swain bobbled it, but made the grab and gets the first down.
When I was playing ball, all the receivers used to tease each other. A catch like this, I always say, sorry, man, you only get credit for one catch, because it took him about 3 touches to bring that ball in. Good job by Swain. Cecil Doggett all over him as he was trying to make the reception. But again, another example of those great hands of Kevin Swain.
Garcia, deep drop. It's a screen play going to Catchings. Catchings, hip hop into the 10. It's loose. Fumble to Cecil Doggett. Gets it.
And who else other than Hunky Cooper to make a great hustle play down the field to knock that ball out of Tony Catchings' hand.
Tony Catchings, 6'3", 270 on the tight end screen, loses it. It still appeared that Iowa would jump on the fumble, but Cecil Doggett was quicker to get to the ball, and the Rattlers reclaimed possession after they coughed it up on the turnover.
Hunky Cooper comes off a block and pursues down the field, does an excellent job of knocking that ball away. Number 71 for the Iowa Barnstormers, not able to get a hold of it. What a great
right as Catchings was in his high step, too. Oh.
Excuse me, that's number 31. That's Bobby Jurassic, who wasn't able to fall on it, and Doggett gets it.
He overran it. Pass to Mohamed Oliver, and he takes a shot from Carlos James, but hangs on. And the clock keeps ticking for the Rattlers, up 52-39 here in the fourth quarter.
That's what you call a fastball by Chad May. That ball got over there in a hurry to Mohamed Oliver. A little ISO on Oliver. He's the man in motion. Just run a little stop route. That ball comes in with zip now. Good coverage by Carlos James.
There has been no scoring here in the fourth period. And the Rattlers would probably be fine with that if the game ended with them on top 52-39. And we have a stop in play at the 9:17 mark and a timeout called by the Rattlers. We will take a timeout. 9:17 left here in the fourth quarter. Arizona Rattlers looking to become the only undefeated team in Arena football this season.
During Adventure 99, buy a Dodge Dakota and Dodge will give you a $1,000 cash allowance. Or you can choose a vacation package worth up to $1,800 at the new Universal Studios Islands of Adventure theme park in Orlando, Florida. Or a vacation package at Universal Studios Hollywood. It's the adventure of a lifetime, and we have the rides to prove it. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Cellular One was one of the first to bring you a cell phone. We'll be the first to bring it to everyone.
Lennar Homes to the house report, our possession breakdown. Discover the value advantage of Lennar Homes. And we've seen more stops than normal in an arena game here this evening, and a lot of them came in that first quarter.
And it seems like Iowa, every time they try a field goal, it just blows up in their face. They had one block for a touchdown. Hunky Cooper returned another one for a touchdown. So they've kind of gone to the offensive, hey guys, let's just not put our kicker on the field.
Yeah, and you can see Obstad over there on the bench. That's not Obstad, that's actually Danny White with the fro. How about that? That'd be a good look.
6'3", 6'9" with the afro. He really looked like Irwin and Fletcher right there, didn't he?
Fletch. Those guys, and he's on his mobile too, telling somebody that he just won the sign award here at the America West Arena.
Check it, bleed. Throw was on, didn't trip. But folks was freaking. I speak jive.
Either that or you watch Fletch too much. Chad May puts this on tape, rumbling, and he gives it up to Iowa. That is not something you will normally see. Chad May scrambling out of the pocket, not used to running and tucking it away, and not very good at it.
Boy, Arizona keeps giving chances to Iowa. Iowa needs to start taking advantage of all of these turnovers by Arizona.
That's 3 straight turnovers, 2 by the Rattlers, 1 by Iowa, all on fumbles. Hunky, and then Iowa coughed it up, Catchings on his big run, and now Chad May. So back-to-back-to-back fumbles, and still no scoring here in the fourth quarter. But
Chad May made a big mistake. He never got that ball tucked in tight to his body.
And Aaron Garcia loses it. Joe Birch, back-to-back-to-back-to-back. 4 in a row. And the Rattlers will have it at the 20-yard line. Who greased that pig?
And they gained 7 yards from where Chad May fumbled the ball. So it's just like an offensive play for the Rattlers.
Somewhere in the bowels of the America West Arena, some ball boy is getting a great chuckle, but because he greased that ball here in the fourth quarter.
But it's Bo Kelly, comes from his linebacker position. Aaron Garcia had actually picked the ball up and started to make progress with it, and Bo Kelly tattoos him right in the midsection and knocks the ball out again. A good play by Bo Kelly.
This is like a pinball game. We're just going back and forth, but nobody's getting into the other team's end zone. Chad May unloads this one to Hunky Cooper, and he's driven out after about a 7 or 8 yard gain.
Hunky turns to try to give a little business to Shea Showers and got caught up in the chains over there.
Hunky appreciates a good hit, though. He'll go down, look mean, and then tell the guy, hey, nice hit.
No, he's great to be around, fun to watch play, always gives 100% effort. Turns around, gets his foot caught up.
He rode that horse a little too long.
You hate it when you go to try to do something and you end up looking like the dum-dum.
That would be a dum-dum.
I'm trying to clean it up for the program.
Matriculating to dum-dum. We've covered both spectrums. And there is Bo Kelly rumbling forward to the 5-yard line. First down for the Rattlers. And the clock ticks the 7:20 mark, and Arizona still maintains that 13-point lead. Chad May getting his first opportunity as the Rattler quarterback here in the second half, setting 28 passing records at Kansas State. And had that tremendous preseason.
Really was part of the turnaround of the Kansas State program. It's been well noted how bad Kansas State was for so many years and their progression into the top 10. He was part of that move up the ladder for Kansas State.
Bo Kelly on the sweep. Bo Kelly for 1. Rattlers all-time leading rusher. Bo Kelly in his 4th year out of East Texas State takes it to the 1-yard line.
He actually went to where the blockers were that time, Tom. He ran a screen earlier, man. He didn't look like he didn't even know where he was that time. A good job.
He couldn't find his buddy Gary Howe. He's tough to
what's
miss.
That big white thing in the middle of the field? Let me run over. Run to the light, Bo. Run to the light.
Gary Howe now lining up over center as the nose tackle, the nose guard right there in front of Joe Birch. Eddie Goins in motion. Bo Kelly gets another chance to take it in. Instead, he loses 3 yards.
Once again, though, very difficult when you're running the football to get anybody on the linebackers, because it's basically 3 blockers up front trying to block 5 linemen or 5 defenders in that box. The 3 down linemen and 2 linebackers. And Leonard Conley, little guy playing linebacker, does a nice job of just coming up inside of that and meeting Bo Kelly before he could even get started.
5th meeting between the Rattlers and the Iowa Barnstormers. Each team picking up 2 wins. One of the more memorable confrontations back in '95 when Iowa knocked the Rattlers out of the playoffs. The defending champion Rattlers, they had won the title in '94, and then Kurt Warner, flags go down. Kurt Warner with that touchdown pass. 2 seconds to go in that game in 1995, and Iowa knocking the Rattlers out in the first round, winning 56-52. Danny White picking up the pieces and moving on. He has taken this Rattlers team to 6 straight playoff appearances. The only time they missed out was in their inaugural season.
You know, we all came, everybody from the broadcast team, we came and watched that Arena Bowl 11 here back in '97. We were all kind of worried because Cedric Bonner had been hurt, broke his leg in the semifinals. Donnie Davis comes in, and what just an absolutely dominating performance by the entire team. Hunky Cooper had an interception return for a touchdown and a kickoff return for a touchdown. Just a great display of depth by the Rattlers in that game.
They didn't win, they just diffused that team. Hunky Cooper, touchdown! Diving into the back of the end zone. Chad May threw a dart, and Hunky Cooper with his 2nd sparkling touchdown reception of the season. He had one in game 1 against New Jersey, a one-handed grab. This time he lays out for 6.
You can't draw it up any better than this. A good route by Hunky Cooper, a great throw by Chad May, right on the money. Number 20, John Fisher, had great coverage, was coming underneath to try to knock that ball away. Hunky lays out, cradles it, brings it in for 6. Just a great play all around by the Rattlers.
Oh, and Anthony Brenner spares Lennar Holmes a $25 check. Back to Orlando for Anthony Brenner. He will be going back and forth. Expect Anthony to spend at least another week here with the Rattlers as Kyle Pooler, the Rats' starting kicker for the season, tries to recover from his abdominal strain, but Hunky Cooper making a great grab, and the Rattlers with the first score here in the fourth quarter on top now, 58-39.
Finding the right home is like finding the right quarterback. You look for the whole package, and that's what you get with Lennar. With a Lennar home, you begin with outstanding construction and exciting design. But then, Lennar provides these Value Plus included features. Your Lennar home comes with a Whirlpool washer, dryer, refrigerator, freezer, ceiling fans, garage door openers, and many more features that other builders may call options. Your choice of Lennar locations is in the home section of Saturday's Republic.
I've got something to show you. I've got something to show you.
Have renamed their annual golf tournament to the Milton Vaughn Memorial. 7th annual event is May 24th at Orange Tree Golf Resort and benefits the American Heart Association and Rattlers Charities. Give us a call, 379-7569, to enter the Milton Vaughn Memorial Golf Tournament. So after 4 straight turnovers in this fourth quarter, the Rattlers put the touchdown on the board. Aaron Garcia and the Barnstormers now getting a pasting applied by the Rattlers, and this is a very solid Iowa team that is having their heads handed to them. They are number 1 in the league in points scored, averaging 66.5 a game, and they opened the season with big wins over Houston and defending champion Orlando.
And really the difference for Arizona tonight has been the kicking game, but really the guys up front getting pressure on Garcia. It's been fabulous pressure all night.
And his foot was on the end line, Leonard Conley, so it's a touchback for Iowa. Chad May has done his part here in the second half. 7 of 10, 2 touchdowns, spelling Donnie Davis. But Donnie Davis also had a little share in the success of the second half with that fake field goal, completing the pass. So it'll be interesting this week at practice to see who heads to San Jose as the Rattlers starting quarterback next Saturday.
What's that brewing?
A quarterback controversy?
Maybe.
Oh, Pahopek nails Garcia, and Horacek with the reception flips the ball at Doggett and has some words for the official. Aaron Garcia tattooed by Pahopek.
Garcia has not had a great night throwing the ball. But when you're taking shot after shot, oh, man.
You can see the grimace.
I mean, just drilled right up under the chin by Pahopek's helmet. I mean, look at his helmet. He's got turf stains on the back of it. This guy is getting abused.
He reminds me so much of former Cardinals quarterback and current Falcons QB Chris Chandler, taking the hits and just still going. Horacek had it bounce right out of his hands. He had beaten his defenders, Cedric Walker and Cecil Doggett, coming on late on the scene. Garcia laid it out there perfectly.
Gets hit right in the mouth again by Joe Berg and Jamie Washell. Gets his head knocked around and should have had a touchdown. Oh, you got to bring that one in, Horacek. When your quarterback is going to battle for you like that, you can't miss balls.
Can't say enough about the abuse, and again down goes Garcia. Courtesy of Tony Henderson. How many times can Aaron Garcia pull himself off the turf? Tony Henderson this time slapping him down.
He's got his jerseys green, his helmet's green. Oh, man! I mean, that's a rib rattler, just right up the backside.
This is a how-to video. How to abuse a quarterback.
And how to be a tough guy as a quarterback. Give this guy a lot of credit.
Horacek in motion. Garcia finally standing after this pass, but it falls incomplete.
And taking the blame. He knows he misfired on that ball. Boy, Aaron Garcia, you know, back in '95, I was a really big fan of him when he was here with the Rattlers. Had a sensational season that year with the Rattlers. Threw for over 2,400 yards, 43 touchdowns. Had success everywhere he's been, but really tonight, just really showing that he's just such a tough guy.
And he still holds that single-game record, 389 yards in a game. To show you how impressive that is, Cedric Bonner, one of the all-time greats in Arena Football League history, really didn't even come close. 357 was the best that Cedric Bonner ever did. So he really didn't even
Well, I remember Aaron Garcia at Washington State. He started as a freshman, threw for over 1,500 yards, and then some guy named Bledsoe came to town. And Aaron decided to transfer to Sacramento State, but I was at the University of Washington when Garcia was at Washington State. He was very, very good, of course.
And you can see the intense competitor that Aaron Garcia is. Iowa gives it up to Arizona, the incomplete pass on 4th down.
And a tough guy with a nice haircut, too. Kind of got the little fade thing going on.
I think haircuts are the last thing on his mind. Survival might be.
He has not given up tonight. Has not had a great evening. Has underthrown some balls, but a lot of that, again, goes back to the Rattlers' pressure.
I think that young fan was ready to apply a neck brace for Aaron, who just, his head has been snapping on the ground here in the 4th quarter. 1 minute to go here in the game.
Oh, we missed the official's dissertation on the 1-minute timing rule again. We were having some good dialogue with the official at the end of the half.
So it appears Danny White and the Rattlers will move to 2-0 on the season. Once again, the only undefeated team.
You think he's having a good time tonight?
Speaking of neck snapping.
If the house is a-rockin', don't bother knocking.
Chad May, 8 of 11 now. Randy Gatewood, 9-yard pickup down at the 11-yard line. And the clock ticks, 50 seconds and counting. But it's pretty unbelievable that there's only one remaining unbeaten team in Arena Football this early in the year. Must be a lot of parity in the league. Danny White and the Rattlers will move to 2-0. An opening game victory over New Jersey here at the arena. And now the Iowa Barnstormers will go down and it's on to San Jose next week, the first road game of the '99 campaign. Gatewood, and he drops it. Looking for another Rattler touchdown.
There was going to be another turnover before this was over, Tom.
Shea Showers comes up with the fumble recovery at the 1-yard line.
Well, you can't fault Randy Gatewood for fighting for extra yards, but you always have to be careful. When you start getting into traffic, especially when you're ahead late in the fourth quarter, guys on the other team, they may not even be going for the tackle. They're coached just to try to get the ball out. A good job by Gatewood of getting down in there. But it looked like Kevin Caspaharn, who got that ball, ripped out of there for Iowa.
Chris Spencer takes a shot from Cecil Doggett. 10 seconds to go, and the clock continues to tick.
Yeah,
Iowa may try to get one more snap off.
If I'm Aaron Garcia, I let the clock run out, man. I've had enough of the Rattlers.
And there you have it. Aaron Garcia with congratulations for some of his former teammates here with the Arizona Rattlers.
Can you blame him for letting that clock run out, Tom?
No, especially not if his linemen were going to give up and allow him to get tattooed one more time. So the Rattlers move on to 2-0 in this season and look ahead to the San Jose SaberCats next Saturday in Northern California. Oscar Sturgis and the line coming up huge in this one.
Oscar cannot wait for film sessions tomorrow to point out that hit he had on Hunky Cooper's return of the field goal miss.
And you can't stress enough what a tough team this Iowa Barnstormer club is. But the Rattlers took care of them in very handy fashion. 58-39, the final count. Here from the America West Arena. Rattlers 2-0, Iowa falls to 2-1. Back with Ed Cunningham to wrap things up on the WB right after this.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Checker has the new Blue Coral self-wash power system that connects right to your garden hose and a complete line of top-quality Autolite remanufactured starters and alternators. More brands, more parts. Checker, the place to start for parts.
I quit smoking here, and it was supposed to last for the rest of my life. Turned out I needed a cigarette. Blip, and blip, 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 blip. Yeah, I blew it. But I quit again. This time for a day. No blip, and another, until now I'm getting it. It's blipping amazing.
The river. I dropped my Bud Light in the river.
The river? For the love of so much, not the river. Bud Light in the river, huh? Well, here we go again. Who's with me? Show your hands!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Come on, Stumpy!
Till Tuesday at the Room Store, get super savings on living rooms, including leather and reclining, bedrooms and dining rooms, including Bassett, and a great selection of Sealy and Simmons mattress and box spring sets. And don't pay till May 2000. No money down, no interest, and no payments. Super savings on this oversized 100% full-grain leather living room. Sofa, love seat, cocktail, and 2 end tables, only $31.97. And get half off the matching chair, only $6.49 with a free ottoman while quantities last. Don't miss super savings till Tuesday. Get no money down, no interest, no payments till May 2000, only at the Room Store.
At the Room Store.
Welcome to the Baja Gordita Hotline. If you want to talk about warm, pillowy flatbread, press 1. If you're into zesty pepper jack sauce, press 2.
Row. Here's a fantasy come true. New Baja Gorditas with zesty pepper jack sauce and freshly made salsa. Just 99 cents each. Better grab one now.
For a delicious meal ready to eat, shop the deli at Fry's. Hot and cold entrees, fresh salads, barbecued chicken, Mexican food, and more. You can also order a big sub sandwich or try a crowd-pleasing party tray of buffalo wings, cold cuts, fresh veggies, fruits, or cheeses. And don't forget the desserts. Fry's Deli. We make delicious food convenient for you.
There's not a store today that can take me away from my Fry's.
Arizona Rattlers Arena Football has been brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. Bank of America. Put your life in motion. Cellular One. Voted Arizona's #1 wireless company 2 years in a row by readers of Arizona Business Magazine. Your Arizona Dodge dealers, setting the standard in product quality and customer service. Fry's Foods, where they treat you like a VIP. Cost Cutters Family Hair Care Shop. Your look, your way. Tobacco Education Prevention Program. Call the Arizona Smokers Helpline. And by Gila River Casinos, Arizona's biggest and best.
So the Rattlers cruise to a 58-39 win over the Iowa Barnstormers. Tonight we toast Randy Gatewood as the Rattlers' Budweiser Outstanding Player, and he came 1 yard short of yet another touchdown to add to his statistics here tonight, Ed, because he coughed it up there in the final minute.
You know, I was fighting for the D-line to get the player of the game, but I guess we can give it to Randy. 7 catches, 83 yards, and the big one was the blocked field goal by Tony Henderson that he scooped up and took in. That was really kind of the deciding factor in the game, as really Arizona pulled away from a very good Iowa team.
Rattlers lead the league in attendance. They're always packing them in here at the America West Arena, and they want you to come out and cheer them on. Next home game will be either the 28th or 29th as they host the Houston Thunder Bears. First 2,500 fans will receive the Stress Football, courtesy of the Arizona Department of Health Services. And there's a pregame party over at Jackson's on 3rd. Again, the Rattlers and the Thunder Bears here at the America West Arena. But the Rattlers now move on to San Jose. That game will be seen right here on the WB next Saturday from San Jose, May 15th. And we will kick things off at 7:30. And you were sniffing it out. There could be a quarterback controversy. Donnie Davis played the first half. Chad May came in and was impressive in the second half. Did have a little tough time there on the scramble when he fumbled it up. But Randy Gatewood, our player of the game, it'll be interesting to see who's throwing to him next week in San Jose.
Arizona getting it done not only on offense and defense, but really the special teams was the difference tonight. This team very well rounded. We had Gene Nudo up here with us during the second half, and the thing that he says really impresses him about this team is the depth. They have a lot of guys who can play. All right, the Rattlers led 31-27 at the half. They outscore Iowa 27-12 in the second half and go on to win it 58-39. My thanks to director Dan Siekman and producer Scott Rogers in the truck, along with our entire WB61 crew. They were on top of it, as the Rattlers were. Special teams, offense, defense, the line, it was all there as they turned back a tough Iowa team here from the America West Arena. So long, Rattlers win it 58-39. Tom Leander for Ed Cunningham saying so long from downtown Phoenix.